What's up, everybody, and welcome to the WAN Show. We've got a great show lined up for you guys. Apple really wants you to see F1 the movie. So much so that they would become everything they sought to destroy. What was the title today? I don't even... Oh, yeah, right. The whole... How is this so controversy? Stop killing games?
Controversial?
Yeah. You know, how is this so controversy? Stop killing games. Well, we'll get to that. But stop killing games is a thing. Maybe. Or maybe it won't be. Or maybe it is.
What an intro to a topic.
It's not an intro to a topic. It's an intro to the show.
Right.
We'd hate to misrepresent this and have people who are just tuning in for the first time think that this is a hinged show.
Yes, correct.
No hinges.
Speaking of hinged, Microsoft
I'm removing
adds...
this.
From
our laptop partner, Dell.
You can't. It's
No
too well
hinges.
built.
My God. Microsoft adds free option to Windows 10 to extend security updates program. Why does it say free? It's definitely not free, isn't it?
You're free.
What? We'll talk about that later. Cloudflare is changing the rules of the internet.
Changing the rules.
For the better?
That's right. Are they changing Rule 34? Probably not. The show is brought to you today by Delete Me, Zero Bounce, and AMD, and of course, our wrap partner, D-Brand, our chair partner, Secret Lab, and Dell already got a shout out. They had enough.
They did.
Where are you leaning? What
I
are you
was
doing?
showing the logo.
Stop killing
You always
games!
lean the wrong way, so I was trying to do it right.
Stop killing games did it, but don't stop now. Unless what you want to stop is stop killing games.
You sound like a town crier.
I am the crier. I was on 2.5 Men, you know. My name's John.
What?
It's the actor's name, John Cryer.
Oh,
Doesn't
wow.
matter.
All right. Whew.
Stop killing games. The initiative to save games from dying at the hands of their makers. Because usually developers stop making money on it and they're like,
See ya.
We architected this to only work if our servers are online, and now they're not. So I guess it's too bad. See you later. It has crossed the 1 million signatures it needed to get the attention of the EU Commission, which gives it a much higher chance to pass a law which could force developers to sunset their games properly. Now, Luke and I have given our thoughts on what proper sunsetting of games would look like
And
numerous
some really
times.
good examples.
We've also given some examples of how, in some cases, it might not actually work that great. It could be quite challenging, whether it's around third-party licensing of, say, for example, music or other media that's included in the game, or whether it's around IP that is used across multiple products that could potentially harm the security of those other products. Or, there are potential reasons that just, putting out the source code of a particular game or putting the servers into the hands of the players might be really challenging. But that's what Stop Killing Games is seeking to change, is to make them architect these games from the ground up to comply with their obligation to make the game available after they no longer wish to support it, whether that is in the hands of another entity or the gamers themselves. Anyway, the petition is not over. They want as many signatures as possible because the more signatures they get, the better they can show interest in the movement. And it will also help in case some signatures are invalid for whatever reason. Given that this has gotten global attention, I don't doubt that a significant portion of those 1 million signatures are probably not from the EU.
Yeah, there's a big push for questioning. Not only may they not be from the EU, but there's some questioning of if it was like botted to go higher with the intention of hoping that people would slow down once it passed its mark. So there's a lot of questions going on.
In other news, because they have no sense of, I don't know, irony, EA has announced that Anthem's servers will be shutting down on January 12th, 2026, and that the game will be removed from EA Play on August 15th, 2025. Man, there was some other terrible games industry news, but I guess none of it had to do with games that were actually released. You see Microsoft killed a whole bunch of jobs again?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, including some games that apparently were so promising that like Microsoft executives had to have the controllers like taken out of their hands when they were playtesting it. Like,
what?
And now it's dead. Anyway, so if you're from the EU, head over to stopkillinggames.com and sign the petition, because while this only affects the EU ruling, it is quite possible, nay, probable, that it will have a larger impact outside of the EU as well, because if they already have to do all of the work to architect their game so that it could be tied up into a nice little bow and then handed off once they no longer feel like supporting it, then I pretty much guarantee you that that would have a positive impact for players in other countries as well. Other continents, excuse me. Sorry, EU is not a country. There's also a UK-specific version of the petition on the same site. If you scroll down a bit, this has also reached the 100,000 signatures needed, but can always use more. So our discussion question here is, can you brainstorm the ideal sunsetting plan that developers could do to keep games alive forever? Is it leaving their servers up and running? Is it making it open source? What's the ideal? And I know my answer, but I want to hear your answer.
Yeah, I don't think leaving their servers up forever is going to function. It's not going to work.
No, that's not going to work. You can't just legislate companies losing money because eventually
infinite maintenance on things that are losing money.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that this is impossible or an unreasonable expectation for products that we buy, right? Like these aren't products that are even sold to us necessarily as a subscription service. I mean, they treat them like one, but these are products that in many cases we buy. It's like a one-time transaction, and you can bury terms in your end user license agreement that make it so that, you know, you're only obligated to leave it up as long as you feel like it. But I think there is a certain expectation that when I give you a one-time payment for something, say one lime,
thank you,
that is now your lime, and that I don't have a remote lime kill switch that will just take your lime and get it out of here. Right? Like that is not what our expectation would be, I think, under normal circumstances.
I have pirated the lime.
Nice. Open source lime. I like it. I'll just put that back.
You whacked the TV.
Well,
it still looks like it
you'll
works
never prove
fine.
it. You'll never prove it. The camera didn't see anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little tough for some games. I don't necessarily think it's completely unsolvable because the stance that we've had, I don't know if this honestly, I'm not super on top of the Stop Killing Game stuff, so I don't know if this perfectly aligns with theirs. But the stance that we've had is that you should at least give the community a chance to do it.
Yeah, I'd say my ideal execution of this is Forged Alliance Forever.
Yeah.
Supreme Commander was a super cool game that I really enjoyed. I think I forget who went down first, Gas Powered Games or THQ. But ultimately what happened is there was some complexity around any kind of transfer of the IP. There was some drama that went down around, I think it was it Gas Powered Games that went down first? You know what? I really don't remember, so it doesn't matter. The point is either the publisher or the developer went bye-bye. And what they ultimately arrived on was leaving the matchmaking and custom map hosting and community chat and all of these features, leaving them in the hands of the community that wanted to maintain the game and be stewards of the game. Meaning that even though it has been like 10 plus years now since that game was no longer actively supported by the developer, you can still play it online. You can play custom maps. There's all kinds of cool mods that you can apply. So they have their own like mod workshop that's built within the FA Forever. So Forged Alliance was the expansion to Supreme Commander. So it's Forged Alliance Forever. So within the Forged Alliance Forever launcher, it handles automatic updates. It's a little janky.
Sure. But in a way that's honestly like, I'm completely fine. It's kind of cool. It reminds me of old style computing.
But it's alive. It's freaking alive. And the best part is the IP holders still get to profit from it. So you have to buy. They've worked out a system where you have to authenticate with the Forged Alliance Forever server, that you have to give it access to your Steam library and prove that you own a copy of Supreme Commander or Forged Alliance.
Also think is fine.
Which I think is totally fine. I mean,
if the company is willing to hand all these reins over in the way that they did, then I think it's okay. Yeah. Ideally, they put it at a price that's like not.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty reasonable these days. But the point is just that this is a way that the players continue to win by being allowed to play the game, and the publisher and or developer, depending on whatever their revenue split looks like, gets to continue to win by occasionally selling the game here and there. That's freaking awesome. You can buy it for $2.79 right now. That is $2. It's a great game. It actually has legitimately
really fun.
A pretty decent campaign. Like, it's an RTS campaign, so you know how it goes. You do each level and you unlock some more of the tech tree and you kill all the bad guys or whatever. And I would say that the online can be a little daunting to get into, because you'll finish that campaign and think you're a Supreme Commander god, and then you'll jump in online and get absolutely curb stomped.
It's the skill ramp is insane.
But it has a really great built-in replay function that allows you to watch back at any speed you want, and like, it's really quick to go through replays. People from my experience have been very friendly and willing to discuss strategy. So once you get a handle on some of the strats,
2D seems great.
It's pretty fun if you like a deep RTS, and it has the best top-down interface that has ever existed for a game. I will stand behind that. The strategic zoom is outstanding.
It's very easy to get around the map.
With a mouse wheel, you basically you don't move the cursor to the edge of the screen and pan. That's like dinosaur technology. So you just use the mouse wheel, and kind of like zooming in on an image in like an image editor, you just kind of like zoom out and then zoom in. It's like shoo, shoo. And then you can actually turn your viewport into like a super zoomed in look at what something is doing. You could go to one of your factories and see the unit that's being like 3D printed on the bed. And then you can zoom all the way out, so your whole monitor is just a big mini map, like a not mini map, but Anyway, the point is, there's icons for little icons representing all the units, and you can see like a whole strategic view of the entire battlefield. It even supports multi-monitor. It did back in the day anyway. So you could have like your giant mini map on one monitor and then your gameplay view on another monitor. It was like freaking awesome. Maxi map, says WAN Bingo Chronified. Yeah, exactly. Apparently Factorio has something similar as well. Strategic zoom, dude. Huge innovation in that game. Great. Absolutely love it. So that's
that's kind of the ideal to me, is like put the ability to keep running it in the hands of the community.
And if the community doesn't care,
then that's fine.
All right. And some games will still die.
I would prefer the things required be put somewhere, some external repository that doesn't cost to maintain, like a public GitHub or something like that. I don't know, but like put it somewhere. I don't know if this makes any sense. Internet Archive it, something. Do something so that you never have to look at it again. Because honestly, if the company doesn't ever want to look at it again, I think that's completely fine. Also, don't take it back. If you have given it up to the community and then they find some huge success with it, it's theirs.
Yeah, but there's an opportunity there as well, because that keeps the IP alive. It keeps it...
Learn what they did that worked really well.
Yeah, and then do a sequel. Yeah. It's still your IP.
Yeah. What other parts of it? I know like an argument that I've heard is like, oh, what about the music licensing? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That can be a thing.
Take the music out.
I mean, I think at that point, you could even potentially task the community with doing that. You could be like, here's all the stuff that's not licensed. Like we realistically, you know, we're insolvent now. You know, like we don't have the means to do anything with this anymore. But yeah, here's the documentation. You guys are responsible for your own legal minefield. You have to remove any licensed music and replace it with something else.
To me.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know how that necessarily works legally, but it seems fine to me.
I don't think you can legislate companies working on something in perpetuity.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can create an expectation that they will hand over in some semblance of working order the materials that are needed to continue the work if there is someone who is willing to take it on.
I don't think they can even hand over the music. It needs to be removed beforehand. That's easy to do.
And besides, I don't think I don't even know if I would buy that, because realistically, the ownership, the right to use music comes down to licensing anyway. Like I could hand you a CD and that wouldn't be a license to include it in a game. So like if I handed you a file pack, I am not handing you a license to use it in a game. I'm just like, it's ones and zeros.
You're still distributing the music.
You are, but
we are not legal people. We're not going to figure this out.
Yeah, no, but you're distributing it with a set of terms that prohibit actually using it for anything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. That's a tough question. That's for the legal people to figure out, and I appreciate their hard work, but my point doesn't change that I don't think this is insurmountable. Our other question is, I know you guys are boomers and play old games, but are there any games that have been shut down that have impacted your social circle? I already know Luke's answer.
Oh, you probably do.
Yeah, just when WoW went to shit.
Yeah.
Like
that's an even more interesting question, because that's a version of a game that is still running.
Yeah, that's a tougher one.
That gets really tough.
I don't think there's any recourse there.
The community forced that too. Like,
you mean bringing back WoW Classic?
Yeah.
But then didn't WoW Classic like evolve and then is like not WoW Classic anymore?
Yeah, no, what I mean is like Nostalrius back in the day. And Nostalrius is the most well-known one, but there's a ton of private servers for WoW.
Sure.
Not just Nostalrius, and there still are private servers for WoW, many of them. The community forced that. They like rebuilt boss mechanics and stuff that they didn't have because they had to build like the server side of it, and it's honestly extremely impressive. That was just out of like an immense amount of community attention, I guess. But there's still the original Classic WoW branch that Blizzard made, but it's still going, and it's way past Classic WoW now. And then there's like some other versions. I don't know all of them. There's a hardcore one where if you die, your character's done. And there's one I think called Season of Mastery where they like change a bunch of stuff. I don't know if many people are into that. And then there's rumors of them making what they're calling Classic Plus now, which is a whole other thing. But yeah, like games that iterate, EverQuest, WoW, all these old MMOs. Like it's really interesting because where does that argument stop? Because it might not even be within an expansion. It might be a patch within an expansion.
Yeah.
So like a state of a game.
Yeah. Like, I mean, okay, here's a perfect example of a game that there wouldn't be any kind of stop killing games impact on, but they've absolutely made a change to it that has killed our ability to enjoy it. Tape to Tape. That's an early access game. I have good news for you.
Okay.
That's an early access game right now that they moved away from time-based game lengths to just first to reach a certain number of goals. It's a hockey game. And Luke was so upset by this change to the gameplay that I actually reached out to the lead developer, or lead designer, I guess is technically his title, and I advocated on your behalf, and mine as well. I agree that a hockey game is determined by the clock, not by how many, who reaches the threshold number of goals. The
hockey game is 3 periods.
3 periods. And there is now a drop-down.
Which, totally cool.
The pre-alpha branch, So you can select your difficulty, and you can select first to a certain number of goals or time-based.
Which is because maybe some people will like that very weird version of first to 3 goals. Maybe some people are into that. Cool. If it's an option, I'm totally down.
Yeah. So we're back, baby.
Heck yeah.
I looked today, and it's in.
Nice.
It's in the pre-alpha branch.
Very cool. That's good.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
But yeah, it gets,
But yeah, Stop Killing Games wouldn't do anything about that.
Because like everyone was mad about Classic WoW, but it's still technically, I don't know what expansion they're even on now, but like the main branch is still technically there. It never technically went away.
Yep.
The game was technically never killed.
It was never killed.
It was just expanded upon for decades.
So this is going to be a tough thing to tackle, because there's absolutely practical challenges, like we've outlined already. Not being able to legislate maintaining software forever, not being able to legislate never patching in or out functionality. Like, that's something that they could do to get around this pretty easily, is they could just patch out multiplayer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we didn't kill the game.
We patched the game down to you open a door and then the game is over. It's no longer multiplayer. It is single player.
And it shows an end screen.
You open one door and then the game ends.
And it says, congratulations, your speedrun time is X or whatever.
And we have given the files out to the community to run this game.
So there's absolutely ways around this that we'd have to kind of try to brainstorm all the sneaky ideas that executives and publishers might have to get around it. But
it's a tough problem. I'm happy someone's trying to address it.
Yes. At least this is a step, and I'm really glad to see that it's got the momentum that it does, even if there are some voices within formerly of the industry that are speaking out against it because of some of these practical challenges around crafting this legislation and then ultimately enforcing it. What do you want to talk about next?
Well, what's our headline? Not really our headline topic, but what our main topic. Apple really wants you to see F1 the movie.
Yeah.
In an excellent piece published on thestar.com.my?
Sure.
.com.my.
Yep.
What? Okay.
Don't worry about
it. Jason Atten? Sure.
Jason.
Discusses what he thinks is Apple's most important product, trust, and how Apple violated customers' trust with the recent push notification sent to U.S. iPhone users through the Wallet app, offering them a $10 discount on tickets for F1 the movie. Huh.
I mean, I have talked about this a fair bit, but it always rings quite hypocritical to me.
I don't like that.
When Apple criticizes their competitors for being ad platforms. When Apple is taking their very operating system and behaving no different from when Microsoft integrated OneDrive that bothers you to subscribe to it, or put stupid Candy Crush in the stupid start menu. This is what Apple would criticize anyone else for doing on any other timeline. So Atten opines that Apple's entire brand is that it is not like other tech companies. Yes, their products are expensive, but in exchange for the larger bill at the checkout, you get a better user experience and an ecosystem that at least claims to prioritize privacy and security over mining and monetizing your data. He says that when Apple uses an app most associated with security and trust to advertise to its users, it crosses a line.
Absolutely.
TechCrunch reported on widespread social media complaints about the promotion and noted that a new offers and promotion setting for iOS 26's Wallet app suggests that Apple plans to push more marketing through the app in the future. The push notification, this is funny, is actually in violation of Apple's own App Store guidelines. Guideline 4.5.4 states that push notifications should not be used for promotions or direct marketing purposes unless customers have explicitly opted in to receive them via consent language displayed in your app's UI, and you provide a method in your app for a user to opt out of receiving such messages. So Jason goes on to say, a company that has spent years telling the world that privacy is a fundamental human right, a company that famously took on Facebook and limited how apps can track users across other apps and websites, just used its own system-level app to send out marketing content that users didn't ask for and couldn't opt out of. That's not a great look.
How much money did they get for this?
Well, I don't think it's so much about how much money they got. I think it's more about how much money they spent. Like, this is an Apple TV production.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
Our discussion question is, but at least that U2 album was awesome, right? Says Jordan. So this is actually not the first time that Apple has just brazenly used their platform for marketing.
What is this website?
Or, sorry, Apple TV is buying the TV rights in the US for F1. Sorry, that's the affiliation. Thank you, J. Brad.
What
is it?
This is the star.com.my website is a mess.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's a good take either way.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Let's not worry too much about that for now.
All right.
So, I guess the question here is, are we really surprised? I mean, Apple's hypocrisy has been on full display for so long, and I know that this really rubs a lot of Apple fans the wrong way whenever I point it out, but like, Apple's whole thing with their whole like subsite on apple.com about all their sustainability, while at the same time, in their other hand, they're either facilitating or explicitly enforcing the bricking of perfectly functional devices. Like, Apple's whole holier than thou thing around user privacy and security while operating data centers that are effectively under the control of the Chinese government for their Chinese users. Like, can we please stop pretending that Apple is anything other than an equally soulless and heartless corporation like any other? Please. Don't fall for the branding. That's all I ask. And when Apple rubs me the wrong way over this stuff, a big part of it is honestly not that they're behaving any different. This is honestly not any worse than, Samsung promoting their crap to me on my Samsung phone or Google promoting their crap to me on my Google phone. The difference is that those guys, for the most part, just kind of own it. Google's like, yep, we're an advertising company. Whereas Apple sits there and just blows smoke up their own asshole about how amazing they are and how much they care about this stuff. No, you don't. When the rubber hits the road, you guys will sell us out as fast as anyone else. And here's the proof. In F1. Okay, rubber hits the road didn't quite work there, but the F1 thing, you know what? I'm standing by it. Rubber.
It's, one of my problems that I'm having is like some people in Floatplane chat and some places that I'm seeing elsewhere. I think this directly ties into what you were kind of just talking about. But people are like, oh, but it's good though. It's like, man, you can't. That doesn't work. Because what if the next one's not good?
Well, yeah. Cobby says, except for Linus Media Group Incorporated. They have a soul, right? No. I'd like to think that some of the people who work here have a soul.
But the company itself.
I'd like to think that influential people who work here have a soul and care. But as soon as you go public, you are beholden to your shareholders. And in that case, your shareholders are in it for literally one thing. Like in our case, our primary shareholder, that's me, has to get out here every week and talk to you guys directly. And you guys talk to me directly. Sometimes very direct. Linus, we need to talk. Okay. That video you did on the lawnmower today, didn't enjoy it. Actually, for just like a Friday showcase, people seem to be kind of into the lawnmower video today. They said it's a lot better than the pool robot one we did. So we
want land robot, not water robot.
The point I'm making is that we have a two-way dialogue, and there is an actual ability, potentially at least, to make your voice heard, and that may actually affect change. And we did take a lot of the feedback from that pool robot video and integrate it into making a better lawn robot video this time. Was it still just a sponsored showcase that we put in our Friday time slot where it's ultimately going to get stomped on by WAN Show and we know it's not going to perform very well? You better believe it. But hey, we're able to have this conversation and we're able to make it as best of that as it could possibly be. Whereas with a publicly traded company, like at the end of the day, the people with the influential voice are going to be the shareholders that are able to exert power over the board of directors and the executive team. That's it. Your voice doesn't actually matter. And if Apple sees that in spite of people being upset about this, that a whole bunch more people go to see F1 the movie and they ultimately get a bunch of kickback from it, they're just going to do it again. So, no, we don't have a soul. And no, you shouldn't just implicitly, believe that we have your best interest at heart. At the end of the day, we are a corporation like any other, but I also think that being a smaller company, not a publicly traded company, not having investors who are purely in it to extract as much value as possible over as fast a timeline as possible, I do think that makes smaller companies a little different. Maybe we even think different. Maybe we are Apple. Okay.
I genuinely really miss the old taglines. Like Intel Inside was really good. What even is Intel's current one?
Is it still Intel Inside?
I don't think so.
I legitimately don't even know.
But like this is I can think of there's one company that I really like their tagline, and then they changed it, and I kept saying their old one, and then they
Squarespace.
got mad at us.
Build it beautiful.
It was so much better. What is it now?
I don't know.
Who cares? Once you get one that's really good and everyone likes, you should probably just keep it.
Is this just nostalgia glasses, though? Are you just a boomer who
Build
remembers
It Beautiful was good?
Who remembers things the way they liked it?
Intel Inside was good. Think Different was good. What is Apple's now?
What's ours?
I don't think we have one.
Maybe we should.
Ignited passion for technology.
That's on our mission statement.
Yeah, that's not it, though.
Yeah, that's not it.
Light things on fire.
I like that. Dude. When I did that interview and talked about sort of how we see our role in the tech space as going around and starting little fires and seeing what burns, what I was thinking was ignite passion for technology. But the context around the events that happened at that time with the California wildfires.
Oh no.
And the fact that I was down in California.
Oh no.
And the timing of the release of the video, the wildfires hadn't happened yet when I used that analogy. Yeah. So maybe we...
Sometimes doing stuff in public is hard.
Yeah, how about we sprout passion for technology? We'll change it.
Sure.
Sprout it.
It sounds more
Impregnate
Canadian.
it.
Oh.
Impregnate passion.
Yeah.
That...
Plant seeds of passion.
Yeah. Deep seeds.
From Alien. They burst out of your chest.
Cool. What are we? Is something? Speaking of fires, is something on fire?
Somewhat. I got it though. It's fine.
He's doing great. Why don't we jump into whatever we're supposed to be doing next?
We could do
Daniel
another
Besser?
topic, or we could do some merch messages. How about some merch messages
Sure.
if Luke's doing his job instead of his job?
Whoa. Oh, interesting. Okay, sure. Merch messages are the way to interact with the show. We've actually got... Where'd it go? There it is.
Huh?
We've got a really exciting new product on the store right now. It is our transparent edition of the LTT screwdriver. It's every bit the LTT screwdriver that you already know and love, but now it's clear, so you can see the bits like this, and you can even see them when they're in there like that. You can even see the ratchet mechanism moving around in there a little bit as it click, 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 and makes it satisfying noises. So now is a perfect time, just like Jacob S., to pick up one of these by sending in a merch message. Merch messages go to producer Dan, who will either reply to them himself, forward them internally for someone else to address, or curate them for me and Luke. All you got to do to send a merch message is go to LTTStore.com, add something to your cart, like, hey, say for example, this. Or, the transparent collection. That's a cool hoodie that actually has my dental records on it because we are absolutely unhinged people. What else we got? You could add, the new Hydrophase swim shorts from our Touch Sand collection. Just add something to your cart, and whenever we're live, you will see a box for a merch message. Dan, do you want to show the peoples how it works?
Sure thing. I've got one here from Alyssa. Linus, I have an Epson Home Cinema 4010 Pro UHD. Saw the Valerian Pro 2 video. Specs beat mine on paper. I thought that short throws were worse than traditional projectors. What am I missing? Is it worth switching for?
So I'd say traditional viewpoint is that short throws were worse because you could have more distortion because of the optics that are needed to create such a large image over such a short distance, and how much you have to kind of stretch it in order to do that, and just the angle of the light in the wall and all that. With that said, optics is an area of technological advancement over the last 10 to 20 years that honestly probably has not gotten enough attention. It's one of those things where people, often in person, people thinking they're going to get an unexpected answer will ask me things like, what's the most exciting change in technology you've seen over your career? And the answer that I invariably give, because I genuinely believe this, is one that they don't expect. So nobody comes away disappointed, but I think it's actually in lighting. Think about what has transpired in the time our company has existed in lighting, like cinema lighting technology.
Also just the expense even.
The Kino Flow, what has scaled simultaneously in quality, like lighting, and in cost, like lighting, in the time that our company has existed.
Yeah, that's really
Name
interesting.
something.
That is not what I would have expected you to
Our
say.
Kino Flow Diva lights were these quad fluorescent tube light things that had this cheap, shoddy, corrugated plastic flap system on them. They were freaking heavy. They were ridiculously expensive.
Very expensive.
They sucked. They weren't very bright, and they had absolutely no capacity for adjusting them in terms of their color temperature. They just were what they were. They were whatever fluorescent tubes you put in them. Nowadays, dude, companies like Aperture, for a few $100, you can get lights that are ludicrously bright. You can run your entire set off a single circuit instead of having to, have flipping one halogen light that has to run off a cable from way the frick that set over there, and then a bunch of other ones for the back that can run on this circuit. You need 3 circuits to light your stupid set. You can run an entire set off of a single circuit. You can make all these fancy adjustments to your color temperature and your brightness. It's super granular. It's all wirelessly controlled and relatively simple to integrate compared to what things were like back when we started. Man, what we paid for our flipping the RGB lights, Dan, our first ones, the blue ones, sky panels,
Or the Titan tubes or something like that.
Oh, dude, Titan tubes
are so expensive.
Dude, but now you can get off-brand ones that are way cheaper. They're battery powered. You could stick a light anywhere you want,
And just as powerful.
and they're awesome. But our first sky panels, those were from Ari, which tells you everything you need to know about how much they cost. And I was oh, this is so cool, because they had modes for firelight flickering and modes for old school black and white TV, so you could have it off camera, and it could cast kind of sometimes a little bit more black, sometimes a bit more white.
I think some just to
and cop car. They had cop car.
I think some people aren't recognizing that you are talking chronologically.
Yeah.
Because I got a comment that are "Oh, this thing is much better than the Kino Flow." The Kino Flow that we bought was 15 years ago.
Yeah. That's the point.
Yeah.
Is the Kino Flow sucked back then, but that was the go-to decent kind of affordable light. It was $5,000 or something like that.
Almost every YouTuber that was heavily investing in their camera
Yeah.
setups at that time that I knew had Kino Flows.
Yeah. And dude, by comparison, I could buy some stupid little LED array on AliExpress and a little bit of diffusion paper or something, and I could get better lighting results out of that for $20 than that Kino Flow from
it's been pretty
like
wild.
13 years ago or whenever we bought it.
Even the lights that are behind you now, those tiny little square things,
Yeah.
they are so bright. They're IP65 waterproof. They're LED. They're RGB.
They're taped to the floor.
Yes, you can't move them because people bump into them.
Dude, and the little battery-powered ones you can put on your camera? Like, those existed 10 years ago.
They were kind of rough.
But they were pretty bad. They weren't bright. They were expensive. The battery life sucked. Like, I remember we'd have to, we had to like micromanage like our mic pack batteries and our camera batteries and a stupid battery for the little thing. Nowadays, it's so easy to build a nice rig with just like one battery that like daisy chains across to everything. Dude. Oh man, Smash Champs. Smash Champs is another great example of this. Hold on, I'm gonna just bring this up. Do you have any flipping idea what the lighting here would have cost me just like 15 years ago?
I think one of the reasons why this is probably so surprising for people is because house lighting, premium house lighting, is still really expensive. And honestly,
I don't know why.
House lighting for LEDs looks kind of poo.
Hold on, where's a better shot that shows? Okay, so here, no, is that a video? Oh, why do I keep clicking videos? Can I just click something that's not a video? Here we go. Is this a video? There, it's not a video. Okay, perfect. Okay, they're not actually on.
They're not lit though.
This is absolutely genius. Here we go. Finally. Okay, cool. So this lighting setup here was inspired by a lighting setup that I saw in a hall in Taiwan, like almost 10 years ago now, I think. And they had these really cool fixtures. They were basically giant rectangular prisms that were like diffuse, like matte white prisms that were suspended across the entire hall, kind of like this. And it was less janky because they didn't have all these stupid like ready
wires,
rods and aircraft cable and stuff. Like, they were really nice architectural design as opposed to our functional design. And ever since I played there, I knew I wanted that for my ideal lighting because it brings the lights down closer to the court. And the closer the light is, the less bright it needs to be. And therefore, the less dazzling it is whenever you accidentally look directly into the light, which inevitably will happen when there's a moving projectile that could be coming from anywhere to anywhere on the court surface. To do something like that back in the day, good Lord, they were so bright.
Crazy.
Yeah, it would have had to have been full of either incandescent or CCFL light sources. You'd be losing a bunch of it to the diffusion layer. Nowadays, do you know how we made these? These are just like your typical 4x2 office light panels, and then they're just
On an angle?
Yeah, they're just mounted to like this aluminum structure here.
Is there a diffusion layer on there in addition to the standard?
No, that's just built in.
Yeah, because it looks good.
It's just built in.
It looks like way better.
They've got little color temperature switches on them, so you can just decide what color temperature you want. And look at this. You can actually really tell in the picture that the consistency is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even
It
when
feels like that when you're there, too.
even when LED panels got somewhat affordable, like, I don't know, what, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the CRI of them sucked and the consistency was all over the place. Nowadays, you can just buy commodity stuff. Like, these weren't even expensive. I mean, buy enough of them and anything's expensive, but relatively speaking, they weren't even expensive and they're just outstanding. And so I can't think of anything in the technology space that has come down in price and up in quality like LED lighting.
And I gotta caveat this with, I'm gonna say health things, and you're watching a tech podcast, so don't yell at me. Just look it up.
A lime a day keeps your lover away.
I was trying to pick something. I like that one. But yeah, I've heard, meanwhile, in homes, I've heard that things like the very, very white light that we're getting from modern LEDs and stuff is like bad for you because of circadian rhythm things and stuff like that.
Oh, like the color temperature that we set everything to.
CRI, I think.
Something.
They're not very full spectrum.
No, I'm not very up on top of this. And then like actually nice lighting for your home is really expensive still. So it hasn't, the like consumer space hasn't really followed the exact same trend in my experience.
Oh, as like the production space and the commercial space.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just different incentives, right? Like in the production space, everything comes down to like, yeah, why? Yeah, I mean, I guess just...
My understanding is like LED technology just misses a whole bunch of wavelengths. And then you get something like the China ball that's above us, which is a full spectrum, proper real light. They have to do a lot of work.
Right. Interesting.
That's my understanding. Please feel free to correct me, but a high CRI and full spectrum bulbs are way easier to do in the day.
And I guess what's driving the innovation there that allows them to do that in the production space is a combination. Like you've got the volume to invest in building a really good LED light, which obviously you would have in like a home setting as well. You have the volume, but in a production space, you also have people willing to pay at least some premium. Whereas, I don't know about you, but for me, when I'm like buying a light bulb to put in a fixture in my house, I'm not paying like extra.
Yeah. and it's cheaper because you don't have to care.
Yeah.
So we really have to care.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And the flicker-free stuff, like your LEDs can blink in your home.
That's apparently a huge problem. You can't perceptibly tell that they're blinking, but it's like bad for you for some reason. Again, like please.
Yeah, who knows? I did make sure these don't flicker.
Where's my? Do you want to press the thing?
Oh, yeah, I could do that. There you go.
There we go.
Nice.
I don't know. Look it up if you care. But there's a lot of stuff going on with lighting.
Yeah, I made sure these don't flicker because we want to be able to record in slow-mo at some point, and I didn't want that to be a problem. So and it was not that hard to find just commodity office lights that just to go in a drop ceiling that don't flicker. It blew my mind.
That never used to be a thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like impossible.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So the quality just keeps and it's happening so fast. Like even 5 years ago, when we were looking for lights like for the office, it was freaking impossible to find anything that like Brandon wouldn't lose his shit if we installed and like didn't have also proper filming lights in addition to them. Whereas like nowadays, we could just huck these in the office and turn on a camera. Like incredible.
Pretty I think the ones we put in the labs, like the drop-in ceiling ones, pretty high CRI.
Yep, pretty decent.
Super dimmable.
Yep.
Yeah, Top Gear and Floatplane Chat is calling it PWM flicker.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, like the old ones would just kind of glow.
Oh, incandescents?
Yeah. So you didn't have the flicker problem.
Well, they ran directly off of AC. So theoretically, they should flicker. But because you were just heating up an element, it wouldn't cool down enough in between the cycles for it to be a problem. Yeah. So it wasn't until we started doing things digitally that we were like, oh, whoops. And anytime you had a dimmable bulb, they just, oh man, did they ever suck in the early days.
Emily Shabang has said, in Floatplane Chat said, I'm autistic, terrible sensory issues, and can see the tiniest micro flicker possible, and it's triggered my seizures.
Yeah, so flicker is bad.
And apparently it affects...
For at least some people.
People that don't have those problems. No, as far as I have heard, it's like technically bad for all of us to a certain degree. I don't know.
Was that one merch message?
Yes.
Good Lord. I'm either really good at this or really bad at it.
Thank you for sending a nice merch message.
Depends what we're trying to accomplish. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it, Dan.
Why don't we do a second one, and then we'll get into the SAW stuff.
Sure.
Let's see. Good day, tall, slightly shorter, and short. Why is my download speed in Australia so slow? I've noticed over in Northern America, speeds are 2 to 3 times faster. Very jealous. Cheers.
How tall are you, Dan?
6'2". Or sorry, 5'14".
Get out.
I can't out my head.
Oh, hold on. The female audience in Floatplane Chat says, yes, and you never answered it. It was about projectors.
Oh.
These days, I would say you can get a short throw with relatively low distortion. However, I will say that compared to an ultra short throw, the higher end cinema models do still tend to be short throw or like normal-ish throw lengths, and those tend to be the higher quality models that have features like lens shift that make it much easier to get perfect alignment, etc., etc. So,
And they're like just giant bulbs, right?
there you go. Okay, sorry. What was the new one? Yes. Why is the internet slow in Australia? Because you're a penal colony and nobody cares about you.
I'm glad somebody said it.
The actual reason is the ocean. Because there's limited tubes.
What they call it? The internet is not a big lorry.
Well, now and everybody's cutting them. That doesn't help.
Yeah, that
Those darn sharks.
Willie's not helping. Way to go, China.
All right. What are we doing now?
Do you want to do the game? Do you want to do another topic and then the game?
I guess we should probably do the game,
Sure.
which I just lost, and so did all of you. Okay, so I was handed this backpack ahead
Yes,
of the
don't
show.
open the backpack just yet.
Yeah, I'm supposed to not see or something?
Yeah,
I put the dock away.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
Turn them in 360 degrees and walk away.
One commuter back. Okay,
That's an old
That's-
reference. Still checks out.
I get it.
Vintage.
Okay,
Are you
now
gonna
what?
do it?
Read the thing.
Oh, wait, I have to close my eyes?
No,
No,
read
I
the,
closed my eyes.
Read the.
Oh, he closes his eyes.
My eyes are closed.
read the thing.
Let's play a game. Lime Day.
You don't have to close your eyes.
I don't?
Me?
Yeah, no, just close the dock. It's fine.
Okay.
Lime Day, our annual sales event where we squeeze our margins and bring you sweet deals, is happening next week, starting Wednesday, July 9th. But instead of just listing out the deals you can expect, we thought it'd be fun to play a little game. Luke,
Yes.
we're going to show you 5 different items that are going to be on sale or in a bundle during Lime Day.
Okay.
You have one guess to figure out what each item is. But here's the catch. The picture is going to be very zoomed in.
Oh.
Oh, and if you don't get at least 3 out of 5, you have to take a bite out of this lime.
Oh.
But if you do get 3 out of 5,
Linus has to?
I take a bite out of the lime.
Let's go! All right. I don't think I'll mind taking the bite out of the lime, so hopefully
With skin?
With skin.
I mean, I would assume so.
Yeah, just chomping
Oh.
right in the side of it.
Do you have to consume the whole thing?
Nah, just take a bite.
I think you have to at least chew 3 times.
I'm fine with that, but I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I don't think you have to swallow.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't. Do we?
Yeah, it's not that type of show.
Not yet. Wait for after dark.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
All right. There's
Okay.
some interesting stuff because, like, both of our backpacks use Reprieve, right?
Yes.
So, like,
And then
also last year there was stuff in Lime Day that we don't sell normally. So this might be kind of tough. How am I supposed to see the things?
I guess Dan will have
it'll
them.
pop up on screen,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
after you get it right or wrong, we'll show you the full picture that it was based off of, and then we'll show you the item. All
Okay.
right, you ready for number one?
First item.
What product is that,
You know what?
Luke?
I think I'm not going to eat this lime.
Are you actually kidding me?
What's number one?
Transparent screwdriver.
Is that your final answer?
Sure.
You only get one. Are you ready to see what it is?
Sure.
We have our iconic double wall vacuum sealed water bottle. On both our US and global site, you will get $15 off our regular price during Lime Day.
Do you see it now?
Sure.
So obvious.
Screw you.
See, that's the outline of the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have known that wasn't
So
a screwdriver,
obvious.
But
And
Okay.
I think
Why not?
there's one in your sack there, Linus. Yeah.
oh right.
Da, 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 da.
That was really hard. This
That was the easy one.
Okay. Wait, okay. So, Dan, you shouldn't show him the thing. I think that's why I have this. I think I'm supposed to show him the thing that's in here.
I'm looking.
I
away.
have no idea.
Oh.
I think it's fine.
I actually have 2 water bottles.
Okay.
I guess they wanted me to point out that we have different sizes.
That's true.
Oh,
we do.
sorry, I got
Am I
those
still
wrong.
supposed to
There
not
you
be
go.
looking at stuff?
Yep, there we go. You can just look up. It's fine. I'm just holding up water bottles.
I just don't look at the dock.
I had them wrong before. Now they're fixed.
Okay.
Don't look at the dock, and you're fine. I've got the text uncovered.
I'm not. Is my
What are you doing?
All right, second item.
Are you ready for item number 2?
And if Luke gets this one wrong, he has to get the last 3 right.
Yeah.
Are you ready,
Okay,
kids?
here we go.
Like
It's so obvious. Oh my god, dude.
what?
Wait. Okay, this one's actually gettable. This one's gettable.
Yeah.
This one's getting.
Can I look closely at it
Absolutely
without
not.
opening it?
Wait, the backpack?
Yeah, I don't know. Because you can see the weave on the backpack.
You can look. You can.
Can I look at LTTStore at the products?
Oh, is that allowed, Dan?
I don't know. This is
That's not against the rules.
I mean, I think we should have a time limit if you're going to do that, because it's going to take forever.
No, that seems fair.
It's going to take forever if you do that.
That seems fair.
Okay, you have to close the chat though. Get the chat out of here.
That's fine. That's fine.
Absolute pumpkin eater over here.
Oh. Could it be that? I'm going to go with that. Precision screwdriver.
precision screwdriver.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait for it.
I'm not that confident, but I'm going to go with it.
Da, 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 da!
Oh, really? Let's go.
Our precision multi-bit screwdriver.
Let's go.
We're going to be offering a really sweet deal where you get a precision screwdriver and bit set bundle with a free Jerry Rig Everything knife.
Oh, cool.
So if you get the bundle,
Small tools.
you get the free knife.
Nice.
Let's go.
That's legit.
All right,
Number the 3rd.
Well, LTTStore is up. That's it. Okay.
You ready?
go for it.
What? What?
Okay. I think this browsing the site is a bit of a hack. Hey, Sammy, is it time to browse the site?
You can't look at the site. You can't look at the site.
Close the site.
How do I figure that? That makes no sense at all.
Look at it.
Just look at it.
What?
Look at it. Use your eye. You have to.
This game sucks. Are you kidding me?
What are you not it? I'll make it easier.
Oh, that doesn't make anything easier. Oh my goodness.
Look at it.
He's staring at my soul. Oh
Come
my
on, it's not that hard.
What do you
No,
mean?
no. He's staring at my soul.
Wow.
Give me
Give me the ding!
Ah. Sorry.
Oh, feels so good.
Jeez.
Okay, go for it.
Do you give up?
No, he
I
can't
don't-
give up. He has to guess.
I don't think he was in the new swimsuit photos, but it's not going to be a standard shirt. Oh, why is that even his hand? Is that someone else's hand? Or is that? Can you zoom in on the hand? I don't think this is going to help me.
In hands.
There's
Does
no
that-
way Elijah
does that-
would wear
does
an
that
Apple
look
Watch.
like his? It also looks like a significant. It doesn't look like he's doing this.
Oh my
So
god!
it looks like it
Luke.
might be someone else's hand. So it's a group photo. What other things do we have? Yes.
It's on the store.
Thanks.
Yo.
LTTstore.com.
Oh.
Sofa Tux says, "Learn your product catalog, dork."
It's not even there. It's literally nothing to do with the product is in this photo.
Okay, let me.
Just to be
I'm
clear.
gonna give
He
you.
has to take a guess. Just
I'm
take
gonna
a
give
guess,
you.
Luke.
I'm gonna give you a hint.
What? No, he has to guess.
I think he's just making it smaller.
What?
There's your hint.
Just guess. Okay.
There's my hint. Is this a real hint or are you just trolling? The task jacket.
All right. Ready? Oh wait, do I not have?
Oh, we don't have to fit in the bag.
I don't think you have the shirts.
it's
Third
a
item.
specific shirt.
It's a blank
Are
T-shirt.
you kidding? It was a.
During Lime Day, you will be able to
All
get
right.
4 of
Sure.
our blanks for only $60. And that's the price on both the US and Canadian site. 4 for $60. That's $15 each for our blank tees.
I didn't think you would stoop so low.
Me?
To put a specific shirt, not you, to put a specific...
It's not a specific shirt, it's just a blank.
It was you. And a blank is a specific shirt.
No.
We
have a bunch of them.
Yeah, but there are other shirts that you sell.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. All right. Fourth item.
You need to get the next two correct.
Yeah, like that's going to happen because you're going to show me.
Are you ready?
The left side
how
of
about
Linus's
this?
head.
How about compromise?
Like, what product is this?
No.
How about compromise?
No.
Compromise. On the next one, he can browse the site for 1 minute.
No, he'll be fine.
Okay, I am actually.
I appreciate it.
I'm actually on your side here.
I appreciate the attempt.
Sammy's here. He's got a gun to my head. We can't bend the rules.
This isn't my segment.
Sammy
Okay.
does actually have a gun right now. It's a little terrifying.
Fourth item.
I don't know how he got into the office.
Okay.
Well, he got them at the gun show.
Yeah, you go to the gym. You've been working out.
Okay.
Yeah, this man lifts. Think.
Artie said you can browse for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know this one.
2 minutes.
It's so red. I know this one. Why would I know this?
I should. After you threw the lines at the TV. Oh yeah, that's not helpful.
What? It's fine.
Okay.
It's perfectly helpful.
Very red.
Is it actually orange?
It's on the website, apparently.
It's on the website, I guess.
Allegedly.
I mean, your 2 minutes is ticking, so.
Yeah, my brain wants to go to screwdriver because the 3 lines are in like the cap thingy, but that's on.
Oh, it's not on the website. It's not on the website, sorry.
What do you mean?
But you can browse. I've been told you can browse, but it's not on the website.
It's a product that isn't on the website?
Apparently.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I'll get your lime ready.
This is.
This is doable. This is doable. This is doable.
This is not on the website?
No. But you can use the website to help.
I'm getting your lime ready.
You should use
You're going to get punched in the face
I'm getting your lime
repeatedly
ready.
if this isn't on the website.
Listen, it all makes sense once you figure it out.
Luke, just when you
It can
jump
still
up in rage and jump over the tables, just take your headphones off so the cable doesn't get caught. And Sammy, please don't get blood on the concrete. It's very hard to get out.
No, I sealed this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, feel free to bleed wherever then.
It is. This one is sealed.
All right. What do you want?
It's not on the.
What'd you
It will
guess?
help, though. It will help.
Okay, you're going to have to guess.
You got 5 seconds. This is getting ridiculous.
It's a variation of the product on the website.
Screwdriver.
All right, you ready to see?
Sure. There's like no way it's
I
gonna be
have
right.
to reveal the in the bag, Dan.
There's like no way it's gonna be right. Because the screwdriver has those 3 things on it. And I'm assuming that's. Wait, really? Okay. Wait, so I didn't know it is red.
It's a screwdriver, but not just any screwdriver.
It's a
This is
custom
one
one.
of 5 exclusive Lime Day colorways that you'll be able to get by purchasing a mystery screwdriver next week while saving $20 US on the US site or 30 Canadian dollars on the global site.
Do I get it wrong? Because
No.
You made me think that I
No,
messed
you
up
have
the
it right.
color balance on my TV.
Yeah, what were you talking about, Dan? You guys need to stop giving so many bloody hints.
I thought it was
That
supposed
was
to be
very
orange.
gettable. The 3 things.
I'm just reading. I'm just a messenger.
That was yeah, okay.
Well, the thing that really threw me off was that he said it wasn't on the website.
It'll help, but it's not on the
Okay, you guys are honestly hindering more than helping by
That's
talking.
okay. He has to get this one correct.
Okay, so the last one, I vote everybody shut up and let him play the game.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay.
For all the limes.
That's not on the website either, is it?
Everyone's going to shut up and let you play the game.
I think I even know what that is. But that. Can I look at the website on this one?
It is on the website.
Don't. Okay. Yeah. That wasn't the question.
But I don't know. I don't know. It's up to Artie.
The game was never supposed to. He was supposed to like. It's supposed to. This has dragged out forever, you guys.
That's because he won't guess, because he's gonna lose. Go on. What's your thought?
What's my thought? I thought, but I don't know if I can say it because I don't know if it's even like.
Say it. Say it.
Let me type it to Linus.
You can say anything you want.
Say it.
WAN backpack.
It's our brand new WAN edition of the LTT backpack. That's right, my friends.
But that doesn't. That was. I'm so thrown off because I thought all the products were in the bag and this wasn't in the bag. So I thought I was losing by saying WAN backpack.
You did it!
It's the same backpack you know and love, but with a little more WAN personality. We're going to be launching it next week, but since it's Lime Day, we're going to be loading it up with something really sweet. If you want to find out what we're going to be putting in them, sign up to get notified at lttstore.com/lime. You'll also be the first to be notified of everything that's going to be on sale, and you'll get new deals throughout the week directly in your inbox. That's lttstore.com/lime. Also, this is very important. Pay close attention. If you are an LTT Floatplane subscriber, you are going to have a day of early access to all of our week-long deals. Could maybe put it in the frame. Yeah, maybe turn it around maybe. I don't know, just ideas. Okay, for crying out loud, you guys. Where's the salesmanship? Good enough.
Is there we could have.
Give me the damn lime. Oh wow, those
that's
are
tough.
Yeah,
I watched you really try. Like he gave it a shot. Do you want to open it up first? Ooh.
I
He's
swear, I'm like really trying to bite this thing.
it. Do you want me to do it too? The contest was kind of messed up. I can join you in this if you would like.
I mean, that's your call. If you want to eat a lime, you can eat a lime. I won't stop you.
I don't know if I can get in there or not.
Ugh.
Sure.
Oh man.
Did you swallow the peel?
Nope. I'm just still going. You know, it's turning kind of nice. It starts really bad, but it gets pretty okay.
Do you need a bucket?
I got juice all over my laptop.
I got it mostly on my pants.
Oh. It's also like all on one side, which is really...
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends what side it's hanging down.
Right, that's what I was... Yeah.
It's supposed to hang?
Okay, we did it.
Nice job.
Did anyone
do we
think
do
to
with
have like a
this?
napkin or anything handy for this? Or
I don't think so.
nice.
Oh,
I mean, we deserved that.
Yeah, a little
Well, I
bit.
did. I don't know if you did.
I'm blocked by a TV, sorry.
also, you mentioned how like them helping me was not helping me.
They were actually unhelpful.
Where is it on the website? It's not on the website.
The WAN backpack? It's not.
Exactly.
I don't know what they're talking about. Dude,
I didn't know that
I
they were...
legitimately was like, I am losing, but this is the only thing I can think makes sense.
I went from being like kind of annoyed because they were giving you a bunch of hints in this game that was supposed to be a game to kind of annoyed because they were like sabotaging you.
Yeah.
That was just Sammy.
I repeatedly, I thought Screwdriver would not have been possible because they said it wasn't on the website, but I understand what he meant.
Yeah.
That variant wasn't.
Yeah.
I think I was super confused because I didn't know that variant existed. On my monitors, that's sort of orange.
Yeah, so I thought it was a color problem.
This monitor is extremely red.
Yeah,
I thought it was a color problem, so I thought because of that, it wasn't the Screwdriver because they said it wasn't on the website. So I was like, what else can it possibly be?
And see, I knew that everything was fine and working completely normally, and that his guess was good, but we just had to sit through like 4 minutes of you guys misleading him.
I was uninformed.
Just get on with it.
Okay, so buy things. Next topic.
Jeez.
Buy our products so that we don't have to do this again.
What is this stupid show?
Also, in my
podcast.
defense, and definitely the angle is way off, but I thought it was this, but way more zoomed in for the water bottle.
Yeah, this is not.
thought it was
half
like
of
the
it is
neck.
the water bottle.
Yeah. Half of it is the water bottle?
No, I get it. No,
That's just
I see what he's going
the
for.
neck.
I see what he's going for. Yeah.
I just thought it was like a slightly weird photo.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. The Germans have a word for everything. On the last WAN show, we got into a discussion about whether or not LMG is a big company or a small company, and I kind of tried to describe, or the way that I ultimately described it was, we're a big enough company that a credit union cannot service our business properly.
Yeah.
But we're too small of a company for the big multinational banks
to like really care.
to care about us. No. To care about us at all. Like, at all. Anyway, Redditor Alactrium _ reached out with a German word that defines us. And apparently it is mittelstand, which, according to Wikipedia, commonly refers to a group of stable business enterprises that have proved successful in enduring economic change and turbulence, and is defined as a statistical category of small and medium-sized enterprises with annual revenues up to 50 million euro and a maximum of 500 employees. So here's the Wikipedia. It would have been nice if we linked to the actual post. Oh yeah, no, here it is. Here it is. So the way that they defined it was a little bit differently. We made up a word for this kind of company. It's okay. Yeah. Anyway, no, never mind. Yep. Cool. Good definition. Thank you. That actually does help. Yeah, we're a mittelstand.
Yeah.
Is what our company is.
And there are complications with that. The transition is
Painful.
surprisingly very difficult and painful.
And I can understand why a lot of companies might not make it. Like, I got to confess, when people told me that the, I forget, people lay it out both in like revenue terms and in like headcount terms. But when people told me like, oh yeah, this transition, when you grow from like 100 to 500 employees is where most companies die. I always looked at it and went, well, like, that's crazy. Why would that happen? Like, if you're profitable and doing great up to 80 employees, what, you have 110 employees and you just go bankrupt? But what we're learning as we have scaled to 100, over 100, back under 100, and then now over 100 over the course of the last like 3 years, where we haven't really grown in headcount at all, is that the communication and process challenges associated with crossing this threshold
You effectively have to rebuild your entire company.
are painful. But the difference is that this time you're building the airplane while flying it.
Yes.
Whereas the first time, you were building the airplane and figuring out how to take off the runway. Like, it's a very, very different experience. And there's so many more voices, so many more vested interests. It's been challenging, to put it lightly. No, I like it that way.
Nothing changed. And now way more people know about the problem.
I saw their messages. Don't imagine I didn't
this
see them.
will bother even more people now. I tried. Is it better if they match?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Well, we'll see.
This is interesting. The Colombian Navy has snagged a Starlink-equipped narco-sub. On Wednesday this week, the Colombian Navy captured an unmanned semi-submersible that was equipped with a Starlink antenna. This unmanned drone vessel is believed to have been a trial run for automated cocaine trafficking. No drugs were found aboard the vessel, but Colombian officials stated that it had the capacity to transport as much as 1.5 tons of cocaine.
So it was a test run.
Manned semi-submersibles, clandestinely built in the jungle, have been used for decades to ferry cocaine from Colombia to Central America and Mexico, and have in recent years been found crossing the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans.
Whoa!
Colombian law calls for prison terms of up to 14 years for the use, construction, marketing, possession, and transportation of semi-submersibles. That's obviously working great. Unmanned subs eliminate the possibility of a captured crew cooperating with authorities. This is really interesting. So I learned recently that people were equipping planes with Starlink by just like putting the antenna like in the window of the front and just pointing it up. And then Starlink, because they have launched now, I believe they've launched or they're launching their corporate jet service. Starlink has apparently countered this by doing a speed check and making sure that your receiver unit is not moving too fast. Because there's nothing that would prevent the service from working.
So then you want, because they're going to upcharge the airlines, I guess? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yeah, well, because
they want the plain version to pay more.
Yeah, so Starlink, what's it called? Not commercial. Corporate airplane price. Here. For corporate and private jet applications, Starlink Aviation offers hardware for $150,000 with monthly service plans ranging from $2,000 to $25,000.
Which, honestly,
depending
as far as my
package.
understanding goes, is...
It's about in line.
Oh, I thought it was cheaper.
I don't really
25
think
grand
so.
for like a jumbo jet?
Oh, that maybe. Okay, sure.
I'm not talking
yeah,
about
possibly.
the installation at all.
No,
I have
possibly.
no idea on that.
Possibly. It's apparently this is for business jets, according to Pilot Mail, says the AI summary. So take that for what it is.
You gotta watch them AI summaries.
Business Unlimited, $10,000 a month. I think that's pretty competitive. So yeah. And the interesting thing about it is, from my understanding, this basically just comes down to like certification and regulation, because from what I heard from my uncle, nothing prevented anyone from just putting the like ground-based Starlink in the cockpit and just pointing it up and getting Starlink service. But with all the like certification and everything, the prices do go up a lot, because you're not allowed to just like install Starlink in your own, plane. Like, it has to be done by a certified
rules.
shop.
Yeah.
And
Not necessarily weird in a bad way, but
apparently they take like fire resistance extremely seriously, like to the nth degree. Like if you have a fire on a plane, that's apparently the worst. I mean, makes sense
it
to me.
kind of does make sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, plane.
Just open
They
the window.
really are just oxygen and fuel. There's big containers of oxygen and big containers of fuel.
Yeah.
Everywhere the fire could go is really bad.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Let's see if I can find this. Yeah, everything plain is just whatever it costs on land, times,
A bunch.
Yeah.
Now consider space.
Oh, dude.
The last place not ruined by capitalism. Space.
I give him time.
If you don't know that reference, look it up. It's amazing. It's amazing watching him like crack up as he says it.
He's having such a good time.
Do you want to play another little game?
Sure.
Okay. This is a USB outlet.
Okay.
It has USB-C at 15 watts and USB-A at 15 watts. How much do you think this module costs?
This is for a plane?
Yes, this is from mcico.com. True Blue Power.
Assuming a very substantial price increase off of what this would cost a consumer, I think I'm still going to be intensely low, but I'm going to say $125. Oh, well.
As low as $423. Okay.
Wow, hold on one sec. So adding USB-C, because the one beside it was exactly the same, but no USB-C, right? So adding USB-C is like over $200?
I think you mean as low as. $213.
Oh,
Hold on, but wait, there's more.
Okay.
Let's say, for instance, because that's just regular old, like, crappy USB-C, where it's just doing the voltages and amperages of a USB-A port, but it's just shaped like a USB-C port. Huh. Okay. How about the appropriately named 6430360-21? This does USB-C PD.
Oh, wow.
100 watts at 5 amps, and then USB-A at 15 watts.
So the last one was 425, is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm going to say 1,100.
Oh, you're actually high this time.
Oh, that's actually a much lower increase than I expected.
700.
I mean, that's obviously absurd, but I expected them to just go even harder.
Dude, that's like freaking wild. It's like more than 10x. Actually, I don't know if that's more than 10x, because I was shopping for a USB PD like outlet to put in my wall.
USB PD is decently expensive,
and they're pretty expensive.
That's why I thought it was going to be so much more. I'm actually surprised the lift on that is as low as it is.
Wow, Luke's so out of touch. John Mesh says, $700. That's actually a much better deal than I expected.
I wonder if that's the bulk deal if you get 10,000 of them.
Oh, dude.
As low as.
Who knows?
MOQ 100.
Oh.
What?
I don't know.
Did that say?
No.
No. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
That's all absurd. Because like, how much would? Like, I'm just thinking cables. Because you could if you just mounted extensions into like a 3D printed little square.
Yeah.
It's like $30.
Yeah, like nothing.
Sheesh.
Wild. This is Jay Ritchie 1984 says, this is why experimental aviation is so much less expensive. I can add a USB power outlet to a Vans RV7 for like $30. I'm not actually familiar with the Vans RV7, so I looked it up, and this is it. Popular 2-seat, single-engine, low-wing, home-built aircraft kit known for its sporty handling and performance. Dude, how is it that, like, I don't know. How is it that I keep discovering stuff this cool that I have never heard of?
So if you want...
You can buy a kit airplane and fly it, and it's known for its sporty Are you serious right now?
If you want some interesting info, and I can't explain why I know this, but it's not for me. I'll put that out there first. BC actually has really fantastic laws for experimental aircraft. They are allowed to be much heavier here than a lot of places in the States, meaning you can put like better engines and better wings and more fuel than you can in the States. It's a big problem in the States. You really get limited by weight really intensely, and our limit is like genuinely, I think, like 5 times higher. Like it's not a little bit of an increase, it's very substantial. And yeah, they fall under experimentals. I'm trying to look up the BC experiment.
Like, how much are these?
Aircraft.
Standard kits. Okay, hold on. Standard kits. Here we go. This means the fabrication work we do on the kit parts is less than 50% of the total required to complete the aircraft. Oh, that's what makes it a kit. So you have to... oh, good Lord. You have to provide the engine, the prop, the instruments, the avionics, and the upholstery.
Yeah.
Okay. Standard build kit.
That's a plane.
That's a plane. So that you get this in the mail.
Justin can make it.
That is, dude.
Those panels don't even look bent. You have to shape them yourself. Oh no, you would fold them and rivet them to the subframe, wouldn't you? Yeah.
We do not do
problem.
the small trimming and adjusting jobs, which the average home builder in the average shop can do just as well as we can. Okay, trim in this context, I think, means like adjust the thing so that it like flies in a straight line. That's what we mean by trimming, right?
Maybe the panels fit together?
I don't think that's what that means.
It says we do not do the small trimming and adjusting jobs.
That's making the panels fit together.
I think they're talking about the panels.
Yeah. Okay.
Trimming the panels. I'm fairly certain.
Okay, sure. RV kits are
Gonna need another garage.
you'll find we want to continuously improve them. The biggest improvement. Okay, so where's the price?
Trim is an active adjustment you do in flight. That's a normal thing on planes.
I'm just saying. You do it yourself. That's all. Kit build aircraft. Okay, so RV7 was the one that the person said. Here we go. So kit order form. Okay, what do these cost? Like, I have no idea.
Throw some stuff in there. Yeah, you can start clicking.
Okay. Well, I'll need one. Okay. Includes electric aileron trim. Okay.
Yeah, good.
Wing kit. I'll need wings probably. For my aircraft.
You could make your own.
Oh, you can get a quick build wing. Add quick build wing. Okay, so this is basically. Oh yeah. Okay. So that's another like $5,000, $4,000. Fuselage kit. I might need a fuselage.
You might need to sit somewhere.
Yeah. I received my center section with my wing kit, so I have possession of it already. I guess it comes with my wing kit. I don't need a quick build. I'll build my fuselage. Okay, I want a sliding canopy, obviously.
Sliding is so sick.
Obviously. I have finishing kit. Whoa, okay.
Whoa.
I mean, spinner type. Okay, ship to. Wow. Okay. Seriously?
There you go.
I mean, I'm
less
sure.
than price. Well, you don't have an engine.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing some.
You don't
stuff.
have a seat.
That was the price today. It was actually 58.
That's what you have to pay now.
Yeah, go back and look at the page. The kit total
amount to pay today.
So
makes
my deposit.
More sense.
That's my deposit.
There
you still don't have an engine.
No.
Okay, but still, like, realistically, I'm up in the air for probably less than like my Taycan.
Oh yeah.
Like, how fast does one of these fly? Like, is it like RV? How is this a thing? How is your business making build it yourself aircraft? Oh, sorry.
So the maximum takeoff weight of 544 kilograms or 1,200 pounds. You can have one or two seats, and they must have a stall speed of 39 knots or less.
Oh, okay.
There are no design standards. Blah, 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 blah. That's for ultralight airplanes, but there's like lots of other things going on.
Oh, was this plane specifically on there? Down. Oh, here we go. Oh no! I saw the 7, and I thought it was RV7, but it's Beach 77 something.
But yeah, like down in the America, the weight is much lower as far as I know, or at least in California. America gets weird about laws because their whole state system thing. So I don't know.
Okay, so the Vans aircraft RV7 apparently has a top speed of 350 kilometers an hour, which is something. That is, that is so cool. But okay,
what engine is that with though? Because isn't the RV7? Oh, is that a kit or no?
I think you'd probably have to have a rated max speed of the chassis. Like, you couldn't just put any engine you want on it and go 900 kilometers an hour and rip the friggin' thing apart, right?
The AI overview seems to think it's legal in Canada.
That's crazy.
Who knows what that means?
This actually explains something that I have wondered about a lot. Like, dude, Facebook Marketplace is full of airplanes. And
really?
Yeah, oh, dude.
Airplanes?
Because I've told you, like, I train my Facebook Marketplace algorithm to just show me the wildest stuff. And so I started clicking on, like, airplanes for a bit. There's so many aircraft on Facebook Marketplace, and this raises so many questions for me. Why do all these people own aircraft? Why do they buy and sell them on Facebook Marketplace of all places? Like, I couldn't wrap my brain around it.
Yeah, it's totally legal in Canada.
I had no idea that the pricing for them was this accessible. Like, sure, it's really expensive, but when you compare it to what people will spend on, like, a boat or whatever, it's not that different. Whereas I just assumed, like, oh yeah, a car is expensive, a boat is more expensive, and a plane is like way more expensive. I just thought they were like way more expensive. But it's like, it's expensive, but yeah, compared to what people might spend on their boat and all of their, like water skiing gear or, whatever, right? Like, sure. Cool. What are we supposed to be talking about? Why don't we do sponsors?
Hold on, I found you an engine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What am I gonna pay for it?
It's compatible.
A Lycoming engine.
I'm not seeing a. Oh.
$100,000.
Yeah, that's the most powerful engine I could find that works in that.
Oh, you could get a rebuilt one for like $55,000. Dude, you could totally be in the air for like Taycan price.
215 horsepower.
I say do it.
210 to 215 horsepower. This is not me. I'm not doing this.
You're
I'm
not
just
doing
saying.
this.
No. I know this stuff because of someone else, not me.
I bet. I bet Luke's getting into aviation.
No.
I'd
love to.
He
but-
runs a site called Floatplane, and he just couldn't handle it anymore.
See, that's the problem. This wouldn't work for me because I can't land on water.
So I could put you in touch with my old neighbor who used to get crashed out float planes and rebuild them and then fly them. And that is not a made up anecdote. That is real.
Why do you always know a guy?
I've had a very exciting life. I've told you about him before.
Yeah, I think you have.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Dude,
from what I'm sure there's some other one, but from like literally 2 minutes of research, that's the most powerful engine that fits in the RV7.
I mean, he was excited that he found a replacement plastic light cover and it was only $80. It's about the size of like less than your fist.
How happy would he be with 3D printing now? Because I think with these experimentals,
It would not be rated for flight.
But
I mean, these are like plain planes.
Oh yeah. We're still in the maybe
So-
the RV7 is a plane.
Because I was wondering, maybe you could get like a crashed out float plane, fix it, get it reclassified and certified as a experimental, and then you'd have a float plane for, a couple $100,000.
That's still a lot of money, though.
I also wonder what
How often would you fly
And
it?
years of time to reassemble it yourself.
Yeah, so the RV7 is technically considered an experimental aircraft.
Yeah, I wonder what it would take to get something reclassified as experimental.
Ooh.
Do you just scream it?
I think you'd have to substantially rebuild and fit within the requirements, like the weight limits and stuff like
Does
that.
it have to be
And
built from nothing?
Dealing with plane pontoons
Retrofit?
within weight limits might be a little difficult.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm just signing into Facebook to show you guys all of the airplanes.
Not that I'm not enjoying it thoroughly. But what topic is this? Was this a merch message?
know, who
was
cares?
it a topic?
Yeah.
What even is this show, Luke?
How
It
did
doesn't
we
matter.
get here?
This was you talking about Starlink. I've just stopped trying to pull you back on topic.
There's no point. I was just,
It's better.
I was just curious.
We got to do sponsors though.
So, at some point.
But we got to stall so Linus can sign into his Facebook account after having to go through
hangar
700
rent prices.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this guy basically, he had like 5 acres behind us, and he basically had a double airplane hangar on his property to rebuild these in.
How insane would it be to just take the wings off and park it at your house? If you have
Some of them actually do have foldable wings. They fold up,
Foldable, yeah.
or you can take them off. Yeah.
That's a flipped over truck. Is that for sale?
Are these Hummels doing what I think they're doing? No, they're not.
I didn't see that at first.
Is that the pool mobile from The Simpsons? It's a
this
truck
one right
tray. It's
here?
a tray. What? Oh, I thought it was a pool.
Yeah, it looked like a pool.
Okay, what is
Here's
this?
I want this.
Dude, my Facebook
Look at
market.
the Jeep.
The
Look
Jeep
at the
is
flipped
just
over Jeep.
Honest. Please, what's that $1,000 Jeep? I gotta know. Wow.
Actually, you put certain body kits on those Jaguar F-types and they look sick. Just saying. I don't like them by default.
Do you have to go get it
Driven
yourself?
100,000 kilometers.
It's flipped over.
Delete if not okay.
Not a
One
part out.
picture? You just have to go get it yourself?
Oh my goodness.
It is literally just one picture. That's amazing.
That's it. You just go get it, I guess. Dude, I told you.
This is unbelievable.
I need your
trained
marketplace.
my Facebook. I trained my Facebook marketplace to be just the wildest
Someone
stuff.
is.
I would pay money for
I
that.
wish you could import someone's like algorithm training.
Commercial slushing
That would be
machine.
so cool.
Oh my god. What is that?
Look at this thing. I'm gonna click
Definitely
it.
not creepy monkey thing.
$50.
Probably collectible. Probably not, man.
My goodness.
Oh man. Oh,
Unless
this is
you have
great.
like just incredibly weird things and then like
Yeah.
really expensive cars.
Yeah. Oh man, this is great.
At home business, and it just shows like candy stuff.
Here's an original series tricorder functional prop replica. Because, yeah, that makes sense for me to be shopping for, I guess. Here's some stuff from Scrapyard Wars. No spoilers, though.
No.
Here's a 3D LED dance floor. Sure, I'll take 2.
What is happening? What the heck?
At least they put up a real price for it.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Yeah, to their credit, they did do that. They did do that.
Ooh, OG McDonald's stuff.
I don't like that. I want to do some clown whippets. No, thank you.
Oh my god. Do you want a nacho and cheese warmer?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
Is that just? Oh, I thought it was ranch.
Anyway, airplanes. No, I forget what airplanes are under. Okay, so here. I'll show you. You wouldn't believe how many planes are on Facebook Marketplace. Like here's just a casual float plane.
Dude, like people put up.
Oh, wow. Beaver's a classic. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like the first time cars were listed on eBay. Like, who's listing a $600,000 plane on Facebook?
Love me a good beaver, you know?
That's so wild.
Why would I put it?
Oh, my goodness, dude.
Dude, what a... Man.
You gotta reupholster that.
What a choice. What a choice.
Dude, you could ride your Harley to the dock.
I'm super
and
into...
then ride your Harley plane through the sky.
Pontoon planes and loud motorcycles. Oh, dude. Float plane, $160K.
Let's go.
In Maple Ridge, BC. Why do they have this?
Air.
Why?
Well, the thing is, the cool thing about having a float plane is you just drive it on the water and then you can take off whenever you want.
I mean, in fairness, some of these are...
Thanks, Dan.
Some of these are obviously like fake.
It makes it cheaper. You don't have to store it in an airport.
Like you can't call this a biplane if it goes 3 different ways.
Oh.
Here, fixed wing ultralight. Can I interest you in an $1,800 aircraft from 100 Mile House? Would you get in this?
No.
Is that
where you do your trimming, Luke?
Yeah.
Needs some TLC.
Just needs a tune, bro. Just needs a tune. Oh my god.
But yeah, like dude, you could be flying an aircraft for hold on a second.
Why is that so cheap?
Nose actuator rod broke. Attachment point to down lock torn off. Okay, then this one needs some work. Okay, let's find the cheapest one
functional plane
that just like is ready to fly. Beautiful, well built, great reputation. USD $65,000. You could literally pick this up in like 30 minutes.
And it works?
Apparently. Like, is that crazy or what?
That is pretty nuts.
That's like $65,000 $65,000. You are in an airplane. Now, obviously, this is like what I was talking about.
I don't know if I want a $65,000 airplane.
No, that's fair enough. But this is like what I was talking to you about a while back with that lead on the Gamerjet, where I was like, I guarantee you it's way cheaper than you think. And you were like, nah. And I was like, yeah, it seats 9 and it's $1 million. And you were like, what? So with this and with that,
it's very weird.
The truth is the bulk of the cost is in the operating of it.
Yeah.
You got to have the hangar. Unless you're working on it yourself, unless you're even allowed to work on it yourself, which for the experimental ones, I guess you'd be able to, but for like a commercial one, I don't know.
The cost per hour of flying them is insane.
The engineering, the fuel, but anyway, I got a kick out of the fact that you can get a functioning airplane for $65,000, like literally less than a Cybertruck. And you would look like way less of a tool.
You could like take it off the back of the Cybertruck.
Dude, don't give people ideas like that. You know they'll want to do it.
If you drive the Cybertruck fast enough down the runway. Does the plane break through the top of the Cybertruck before you get off the end?
Why don't we do sponsor spots? The show is brought to you today by Delete Me. I think we've all been there, right? waiting for an important call. The phone finally rings, and to your excitement or dread, you have to listen once again to a text-to-speech voice asking you to pay duties for a package you never ordered. But how did they even get your number? And what can you do about it? Have no fear. Delete Me is here. They'll take the info that you give them and they will scour the web, finding potential bad actors that have their grubby little hands on your personal identifiers. Then they will regularly send out removal requests on your behalf with quarterly progress reports showing you how much data was removed from the web and where from. And it's not just you. Up to 3 other loved ones can receive Delete Me's protection as well with their family plans. So go join deleteme.com at deleteme.com/WAN to get 20% off a plan today. I fumbled that, but hey, I think we got the point. deleteme.com/WAN. The show is also brought to you by Zero Bounce. Sending out an email and getting an address not found error kind of sucks. It's like trying to dribble a basketball that's not pumped up enough. What is this? Why did anyone shoot this stock foot? Okay, it doesn't matter.
Is it?
So much buildup, so much disappointment. Is this fake?
I'm trying to figure that out. The actions in the background seem pretty believable.
No, I think it's real.
I think it's real.
I think it's just really weird stock
but
footage.
I'm so skeptical of everything now.
I know. Zero Bounce lets you dribble up and down the court and minimize those turnovers. They can take your existing list of email addresses and validate they're all still active, leading to lower email bounce rates and your important messages landing in actual inboxes and not just spam folders. They also have an email finder, which can identify a valid email address using a person's name and domain in real time, an outbound marketing or sales specialist's dream. And Zero Bounce also integrates with popular platforms like HubSpot and Zapier, so it can seamlessly plug into your workflow. You can save 20% on any of their plans by heading to our link in the video description today. Finally, the show is brought to you by AMD. Our latest AMD Ultimate Tech upgrade dropped yesterday, and if you're wondering, yes, it is as chaotic as you would expect. The highlights for me are definitely the awkward energy. It's funny. I saw a lot of comments saying that the video was not that awkward. It's amazing what the magic of video editing will do.
You say the edit really made it feel not that awkward.
It was really awkward in a bad way for probably the first hour and a half of the shoot.
In a bad way.
And then it got way more awkward and it came full circle to in a good way for the rest of the shoot. It was a lot of fun. We had a total blast.
Okay.
Natalie's upgrade. Oh well, no, it was all on me, 100%. Sometimes I just blurt things out, and I don't know if they're gonna work. And sometimes the stuff I say is super weird, and then I'm just like, yeah, we should probably cut that in the edit.
The piano joke was genuinely probably one of your best pun jokes ever made. It got me pretty good.
It got me. I couldn't even do the delivery of it.
It was genuinely very good.
I was just like... Okay, so if you haven't seen the video, I was unpacking this keyboard, and I was like, okay, everyone, how do you know this is the best instrument? The number one. Oh man, I flubbed it.
You did.
I flubbed the setup. How do you know this is the number one instrument?
How?
Well, they don't call it a piano, which apparently didn't land with a lot of people because they don't have number one for P, number two for have to go poo, for little kids. But to everyone here, it made sense.
I thought it was really funny.
I assure you it made sense. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, and as always, AMD are the ones making it possible. And like with every upgrade, AMD has a giveaway to go along with it. This time, they're giving away one of 2 Sapphire Nitro Plus AMD Radeon RX 9070 XT GPUs, and you can enter today by clicking on our link in the video description. But hurry, there's only a few days left. All right. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Should we find some good news?
What do we got?
Not much. Oh, We have Microsoft adding a free option to Windows 10 Extended Security Updates program.
Yeah, Windows 10 users have a new option to receive security updates beyond the October 2025 end of life. The previously announced ESU program allows users to pay $30 or, and I think this is the free option, 1,000 Microsoft reward points.
No, that's one of the old paid options.
Oh.
Yeah. And that would give you an additional year of Windows 10 security updates, making it safe to keep using, I guess.
Yeah. The new third option requires users to sync their PC settings to OneDrive via a Microsoft account using the Windows Backup app and presumably giving up some privacy in return for updates. Oh.
This is very...
Judging from the enrollment screenshot, PC settings may also include installed apps and credentials.
Pretty interesting. So we've talked a fair bit. In fact, we had a video, I think, on TechWiki, Linus Windows Free, about how Windows is effectively... yeah, here we go. So this TechWiki video from 5 years ago is like why Windows is free now. It's not free, but it's clear that Microsoft's efforts from the late 90s and the 2000s to prevent people actively, like aggressively prevent people from pirating Windows have been discontinued for ages at this point. You literally can go to Microsoft's website, download a Windows ISO, and install it on a computer and just say, I don't have a product key, and run Windows. And it will, as far as I can tell, other than not letting you set some personalization options.
Like background and stuff.
And you can
like
still
that.
set a background by just right-clicking an image and then setting as desktop background.
It doesn't block you?
Yeah, you just can't do it in the personalization menu. Like, unless that workaround has been patched or whatever. But the point is they just clearly don't really care. And I think this is yet another illustration that they just don't care. Like, you could have an old Windows license that you've upgraded to Windows 10 that they would offer to upgrade you to Windows 11 if you met the hardware requirements. And now they're basically even saying, okay, forget it. Don't even bother with the hardware requirements. You can stay on Windows 10. Just please, 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 please have a Microsoft account. Because at the end of the day, Microsoft is going the direction of basically everybody else where it's free to use. And you give up your privacy.
Your data.
Yeah, you give up your data in return. So what would you do? Right? Because your choice is, Linux is not an answer. Hold on. Hold on. Okay.
Why is Linux not an answer?
Linux is not an answer because
there's whole government switching over to it right now.
Because you are a kid and all your friends play a game that has kernel level anti-cheat. There, that's why. So what would you do? You're running Windows 10 because you like Windows 10 better and Windows 11 is bad. I would never under any circumstances run Windows 11 because you're a gigachad like DOS-Dude1. Okay? Your options are run it without security updates, upgrade to Windows 11, or sign into your Microsoft account and sync all your stuff. Let's say those are your three options. Which would you take?
Windows 11.
You would just go Windows 11.
And just pirate it.
Oh,
and then do customizations.
Okay, I didn't give you those options, though. So you play...
But I'm a kid, so I have gained the option of pirating it. You said I'm a kid. Going back to when I was a kid, that was a low bar to walk over. Like, didn't require a hop. You had to step up a little bit.
Okay. People are questioning what DOS-Dude1 is. DOS-Dude1 is not a what. DOS-Dude1 is a man. And we did a collab with him recently, upgrading the storage on a MacBook. It was super cool. You guys are definitely going to want to check that out. Okay, I mean, yeah, I think we are long overdue.
I don't want no security updates on my operating system.
No, I think we're long overdue for like a debloating Windows episode. Because there's.
Do you remember the Windows 9 thing?
I do.
That guy reached out recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'd be down to do another like.
Apparently, he's still doing stuff.
Debloat your Windows.
Let me I don't have an easy way to access the message now, but yeah.
That's okay. Dan will email you a reminder. I don't think the merch message dashboard is like super, super busy tonight. I think he's good. Is that okay, Dan?
Yeah. Thank you. Don't email it though. Thank you.
You know what I'm doing.
Thank you.
That's a weird way to put it.
Well, no, he just...
I want to do a poll. I want to hear from the people, and I'm not giving them a custom option. Dan, can we make a poll?
Yes.
So Windows 10 raw dog, Windows 10 signed in, and Windows 11. Those are the only options. So you have to pick one of those three options if you answer the poll.
Do you have to buy Windows 11?
Windows 10 raw dog.
No, because I assume that you can upgrade to it. Let's say you can upgrade to Windows 11.
Windows 10 raw dog.
Yep. Windows 10 signed in
Yep.
and Windows 11.
Okay.
I want to know which one. All right, we're hitting Floatplane with a poll.
Windows
Let's
10,
see.
it's not Windows 10 signed in. It's Windows 10 with your PC settings shared.
Yeah, yeah. So what we talked about, like synchronizing all your crap.
I'm just saying it's more than signed in.
Yeah.
Okay. Live.
Okay, here we go. Here come the results. Oh, for crying out loud. I will find a way to do this. Hey, look at that. Oh my God. Good software, Microsoft. What is happening right now?
We need to get
wanna-
Power Toys on that laptop for you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, most people are... We've got 70% of the vote right now on Windows 11.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, forget it, I'll do it. So I mean, this is how they eventually get you. I mean, I remember
Windows 10 raw dog for me.
I suspect the Windows 10 raw dog people are...
Like me. You have problems.
Would you actually? You'd go no security updates?
Oh, yeah.
instead of going to Windows 11.
And then when Windows 12 comes out, because it's the next one after the one that's missed,
It's going to be even more shitified, dude. There's no way that Windows 12 is actually good.
I'm
No
using
security
Windows.
updates.
I'm using Windows 11 on this computer and my workstation, and maybe I don't hate it as much because when it first came out, I didn't know how to neuter it, and now I know how to neuter it, and so now it's okay.
Are you going to access the Windows updates despite not supposedly being able to? Is that your plan? Or are you actually just going no security updates?
My
on
dad
your
still
home
uses
computer?
Windows 7, like
Why?
because
Okay, that I actually-
he doesn't like the new ones. Like,
But it doesn't matter, though.
I don't like Windows 11 very much.
I mean,
He doesn't like Windows 10. I keep telling him do Windows 10.
here's my question, though. Like, I recently did a switch to Mac challenge, and for the first couple of days, I hated my life, and then it just didn't matter. Like, I don't use my operating system.
Windows 10 is, in my opinion, the most it doesn't matter operating system Microsoft has made.
Sure, but
It
like,
just doesn't matter at any point.
I mean, just any of them. They just, I don't know, man. They don't really matter that much.
I even try new features,
Yeah.
and they just, in my opinion, aren't very good. So then I just don't use them. So I just don't really use the Microsoft stuff that comes from the operating system, and it's fine. Like they have this new, is it on this one? They have this panel when you open the start menu that is like, you can use Microsoft Link and link your phone, except it like kind of sucks.
You know what? Maybe part of my thing is that I just have my like ad block built into my brain. I don't even notice a lot of the annoying things about Windows.
That one was a major change. It added a whole extra, like,
Was this on Windows 10?
Windows 11.
Oh, this is on Windows 11.
It didn't happen to this computer, though. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to
Why
tell
did
you.
they make the start menu worse?
I mean,
Yeah, but you can fix that.
I mean, yeah. I learned how to fix everything. So now it's like,
yeah, but
okay.
you could do that in Windows 11 and have security updates.
That's what I mean. Like,
so then what
you can
Luke's
fix
asking
it
is,
now.
why would you go Windows 10 raw dog?
I'm
then?
surprised you would just be like, I'll just have no security. And if there's
There's
a
no way.
massive Windows 10 vulnerability
I don't
that
believe it.
is able to be tackled by roaming the internet bot things, I'll just get wrecked. I'm surprised by that answer, Dan.
At work, no. At home,
Good.
I let my dad use Windows 7. I'd use Windows XP
Okay, can't you just like...
if I still could.
What's the equivalent of like window blinds these days? Like, can you just window blinds Windows 11 to Windows 7 and then have him not notice? Like, couldn't you just do that?
No, there's a functionality thing. Like the
What
split
functionality?
The split between control panel and like the new settings menu is getting more split in Windows 11. There's just some proclivities that I don't particularly like, but
What does your dad do with any of that stuff? Come on. How often does your dad go into the control panel?
I don't know. He browses Google Chrome.
Browses
Why
Google
does
Chrome.
why does he need security updates? Like, we don't care. Is this really a problem for people? Like, do they care that much about security updates?
Yeah.
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 I mean, maybe
They
part of it is me
definitely do.
being traumatized by like Blaster back in the day. Do you remember when you couldn't so much as install Windows XP and make it to the desktop if you had an active network connection before your entire computer would just be taken over by just bots that are just finding any connected PC on the internet and infecting them.
Yeah,
maybe
this is, like,
that's
totally
because the pair of us like lived through that and we're just like, it's fine. We've dealt with this.
Why
wasn't
would that be
fine.
the takeaway? That wasn't fine. You couldn't even use the computer.
Yeah, I actually don't believe
Because we've
that
always been
happened.
fine. I don't know.
I don't
This is like the Exy thing all over again.
I think we should move on. I'm going to move on.
My guess was that most people that voted for that category were people that are leaning towards or already in the Linux camp.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
was my guess.
I would not expect most people to vote for no security updates. Nobody.
No, they didn't. But like 22, I think it was 22% did.
Yeah, it was quite high. You
And I
You
suspect
shouldn't-
that's people just leaning towards abandoning Windows.
you shouldn't be me.
Because there's a
That's
lot of
not
that right
normal.
now.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get more and more used to alternatives.
You shouldn't
I've been working
hate
on that.
an operating system enough to do what me and my father do. My father and I do.
Yeah, like your dad should honestly just use Linux.
Yeah, he actually dual builds Mint.
Why is he even dual boot? Why?
How does Windows 7 make sense here?
Some program compatibility. I mean, he could triple boot.
Or you could run a VM.
Yeah, that sounds like effort. It's just easier to run Windows 7.
It doesn't to me. It sounds easier to have a VM.
No, I'm moving on. Cloudflare is changing the rules of the internet. Cloudflare has announced that it is now blocking AI crawlers by default and is introducing a new pay-per-crawl model in which AI services can pay content creators to allow their content to be crawled. Cloudflare infrastructure and services are utilized by almost a quarter of the internet, and bots and crawling traffic can significantly increase the costs of running websites, and recent studies have found that more than 50% of internet traffic is AI bot driven in 2025, with projections anticipating a rise to 90% by the end of the decade.
Yeah, the internet's fake.
What?
Yeah.
Half?
I've known this for a while. Yeah.
I did not know that. I did not know it was that high.
Yeah. Dead internet theory stuff is like pretty real.
Like half of internet traffic?
Well, yeah, because I'm not even talking about internet traffic. I'm talking about internet interaction right now. Internet traffic, that's not surprising to me literally at all. The internet interaction, though, if you spend some time on like the dumb one-letter website, and you actually dive into replies and read stuff,
It's painful.
so much of it is fake.
It's painful.
Crazy. Even YouTube comments these days. Incredible amount of like back in the day it would be like the Ben in his tank or whatever that weird thing was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spam.
Yeah, click my pussy.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, lots of that.
But these days there's a ton of
Bob's Tank Army.
Bob's Tank Army.
Yeah.
That was it. There's a ton of fake ones now. It's weird. It's odd. Watching them get in loops of talking to each other is entertaining too. It's like, this like random tweet or whatever has like a billion comments and we don't know why. And then you see that there's one comment with a reply to it and they just keep replying to each other for like ever. It's like, okay.
Cloudflare says that site publishers will have full control over the AI blocking and the pay-per-crawl settings, while AI services will be able to choose if they want to pay the crawling prices set by the publishers. The feature is currently in private beta, and Cloudflare customers can apply for early access. Our discussion question then is, how do you think LMG will utilize these new features? And go.
We signed up for the beta. We're not in it yet, but we signed up for the beta just to kind of see what's going on. It's interesting. I think there are downsides to things like this. It's not like search companies aren't going to be aware of who's turning this on, and it's not like search companies wouldn't be able to hurt your searchability. I not only do I think it's possible, I think it's so likely that it's close to guaranteed that would happen. That's my vibe check right now. I don't technically know, but I really think that would be a thing. It would be very, very easy for them to do in regards to impacting PageRank.
However, I mean, they can't derank everyone. And Cloudflare is enabling it by default.
Yeah, I think there's also like, oh man, I think there's a lot of interesting bits. Like if you block crawlers on your website because you're like, the 3/1 millionth of a cent that I'm going to get per crawler interaction is not worth the money. I'd rather people just actually come to my website. If you do that, it also opens up a really weird gambit where people could prop up a website that just copies your stuff, and then they allow crawlers to come for a fee, whatever else. There's a lot of like, I think this is a good route, to be very clear. But this is going to start a very weird Conrad, stop. This is going to, I don't know what he's doing. This is going to start some really weird interactions on the internet of how things work. Now, to be clear, I do not think this like AI summary, no one ever has to click on a website again, garbage is a good idea.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
So we need something.
Yeah.
If this works, awesome.
But this could have unentended consequences, I guess is what you're saying.
Practically everything has unintended
anything
consequences.
Anything can be gamed.
Yes. And this will people will attempt to game this.
And I don't know, what's interesting to me, I guess, is that this might just be too little too late. Most of the clean training data is already out there. Like I've heard that companies are basically like guarding their uncontaminated by, just AI contributions, actual human generated training data, which could have really fascinating implications for like the evolution of communication. Because the way that we communicate with each other, our slang and our grammar, it changes and evolves over time. But if we've got these time capsules that we use to train AIs and people are effectively using AIs to process information and send it to each other, I do wonder if there's going to be like a stagnation there.
You know how right now there's a fairly dramatic difference between written word and spoken word?
I don't know. Is there?
I think so.
Oh, okay, sure. Sure, I'll buy it.
Like you and I are not very good use cases for this because I think we often just write how we talk. But for a lot of people, there is an actually pretty substantial gap between how they write and how they talk.
I'm bringing up a text chat. Okay, who's someone I talk to? Nope, too X-rated. Call it Twitter. Okay. So here's a. Yeah, no, I think I basically just write how I talk. So this is to one of the writers off hours. I said one attempt.
Writer's not a good example.
I said one attempt, but no, but we were just chatting in text.
I know, but it's you're giving an example of another person who is through their work highly incentivized to write how they talk.
I mean.
Got it.
Yeah, they don't care. So I said, one attempt adds a ton of scope at a time when we are objectively very busy. Send it away to expert and test can be done in an afternoon. Around with the Tormach is a day shoot. We can hash this out during work hours, though. Hope your evening is good. Sorry for the slow reply. V busy today. So I guess I'm a little bit more point form in text, but pretty similar. Like, what do you mean? Like, how different are you thinking things are?
For a substantial amount of people, it's like very different. Like they'll sometimes use different language. Someone's saying professional communication. Yeah, but this happens in non-professional settings as well. This is like a thing.
Man, who do I talk to non-professionally? I don't have a social life, man. I got nothing. Let
me see.
Okay, what are you looking at?
Trying to not use the AI summary.
At any rate, the non-contaminated stuff is basically where I was going with that is the non-contaminated source data for training is pretty much maximized now. You kind of can't get uncontaminated new data. So I do wonder how much this is even going to slow down the actual training of AI models. Probably not at all, but this could maybe slow down their intake of new information. But even then, like,
Yeah, because there's extremely valuable companies currently popping up, and their entire argument is that they have clean training data instead of junk training data. And that's off of data that's already out there. A massive percentage of the internet has been farmed.
yeah. I mean, it hasn't just all of it.
That's a tough thing to say, but likely.
Probably.
But the one kind of saving grace is if we're going to look at sites like HouseFresh,
yeah.
New products are going to come out.
Sure.
So like you would still need to crawl a site like HouseFresh if you want to have up-to-date product recommendations.
So for those of you who haven't watched every WAN show ever, HouseFresh is an air purifier
Or LTT YouTube video.
Specialist reviewer, and we collaborated with them recently on some of the challenges that they've faced around being pressured by air purifier manufacturers to change their reviews, and also pressure that they're under financially from the decoupling of impressions and clicks that has taken place over the last little while, where people are getting an impression for HouseFresh, but they're not clicking through to see an air purifier review because there's like an AI summary and they just don't have to. So yeah, they wouldn't be able to get information on new pages, but I just wonder if they'll care. I mean, the AIs are so inaccurate anyway.
And it also starts an arms race.
Yeah, we're just kicking off another crawlers versus anti-crawler technology. I mean, if anyone's going to keep out ahead of it, at Cloudflare, I mean, if they can handle DDoS on a massive scale the way that they do, that's a pretty dedicated bunch.
They're the right team to be in front of it. We're not sponsored by Cloudflare.
I think have we ever done anything with them?
Don't think so.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, maybe.
Yet.
Yeah.
I'd be open to it.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
open to it.
We've been working with them.
Yeah, in some capacity or another
an incredibly long time.
Quite a long time.
Yeah.
Good luck, Cloudflare. We're actually rooting for you on this one.
Yeah, big time.
Yep.
Big time, big time, big time.
Oh, we have another announcement. On the content side for Floatplane, I don't know where that was supposed to transition from. Cool. You can check out my 44-minute sit-down discussion with Terren. Do you wanna bring it up? Maybe.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, cool. We talk about a lot of things, like some high-level company stuff, like what the fuck he's been doing so far, because viewers don't really see most of what he's doing or what he's done since starting 2 years ago. We also talked about how after Yvonne met Terren formally, she said, "I have a type," which was a weird thing to hear. It's not our most liked video, but it is our most viewed video by far. Ahead even of the Smash Champs grand opening video. How do we know that? Do we have a view counter now? Since when?
We have a ways to... No, it's not there.
So it's not on there.
No.
Oh, it's a good like-dislike ratio, though. People seem to like it.
Yep.
Okay.
We have ways of getting information.
Well, how do we know? Are people... does it just seem very viewed because everyone's archiving it because they're worried it'll be taken down? Or like
No.
what?
Our view counts are not accurate. Because technically everyone's view counts are guesses, and we just haven't invested literally anything in guessing accurately. But we guess similarly all the time.
I see.
So
it's comparable
it's high.
to our own stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like we know that, but like, the exact number that we have is not accurate. But unless there are like extremely weird, extremely unique interactions around this one particular video,
Got it.
then it's probably accurate that it is high,
Next week, there will be 2 amazing Linus videos. One is called I Spent 24 Hours with Linus. When did that happen? It's apparently a fun day in the life of Linus to see what I do on a somewhat average day. How do I not remember this?
I thought this was in Taiwan, which wouldn't be a somewhat average day.
I don't know when it was.
And the last time we heard about this, I pushed back on it because I was like, there is no way, because you didn't like stay in like 24 hours. It's clickbait.
I mean, they could have hidden in my closet. I wouldn't have probably noticed.
Yeah, that seems to be, it's a bit of a problem, man.
Yeah, I know. That I don't think it's that. We also have the long-awaited Linus reacts to staff describing their first interactions with him. That's coming out Monday. So if you ever wanted
I'm really excited for that one.
if you ever wanted to see what Floatplane is all about, now is the best time.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because you can get early access to deals for Lime Day and amazing exclusives at lmg.gg/Floatplane.
Yeah.
All right.
What do we got left? We got some topics to minimize.
You can donate your idle bandwidth
Yeah, what is this?
to help archive the internet. To make sure that the internet never forgets.
Yes, Redditor u/thecuriousbread posted a call out on the LTT subreddit for Archive Team Warrior. Archive Team Warrior is a software set up to run inside a virtual machine that downloads sites and uploads them for archiving. How it works, according to the Curious Bread's post, is that there's an IRC chat where the Internet Archive team hand selects web pages with an expiration date. They set up a list for each project. You can select the project you want to support from your end. It downloads the pages, and after each page is done, it gets sent off to the Internet Archive, and the copy is deleted from your end. Lightweight, light on internet usage, and big impact. That actually sounds very intelligently built. I'm not like, I shouldn't sound like I'm that surprised, but that's smart. I like that you get to pick. That was the big thing for me. That's really cool. There's a link to the Archive Warrior virtual application page, which we'll post in the
I'm dumping
chat.
in the Floatplane chat right now. I don't have the other chats open.
Yeah, we'll
and
ask Dan to do it when he's back.
Dan
maybe.
just stepped away.
Yep. Way to go,
Good
Dan.
producer.
But it's
Producing
wiki.archiveteam.org/index.php/archiveteam_warrior. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I am a little confused as to how it saves any bandwidth for them if I download the page and then I upload it to them. Maybe I thought you could explain it to me.
Nope, I don't actually have an answer for that.
Is it just that it's easier to scrape?
That it's saving? Is it actually the bandwidth that is saving, or is it the processing?
I don't know. I don't see how it saves any processing either.
Well, it doesn't have to go to those websites and try to grab the data. The archive teams,
But they have to get it from us.
Or it will only use your bandwidth.
The only thing I can think of is that it would be down to it being hard for them to scrape
distributing it.
Yeah, so it's just distributing the crawling and
Doesn't
downloading
really
of the assets.
Look in here like it says, "Hey, the reason for this is to save us bandwidth." Yeah, it looks like it might be a rate limiting thing.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, sites often block server IPs or rate limiting. Okay, that
I think
makes
our
sense.
notes were just maybe not 100%.
Maybe a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. I don't know. I saw this and I was like, that seems like a neat project for people to participate in. Here's another neat project. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed the big, beautiful bill. Here are some rapid-fire tech implications. Tax credits for semiconductor firms that are building capacity in the U.S. could rise to 35% from 25%. The $7,500 EV tax credit will be gone by September 30th. So if you were planning to pick up a new EV that is eligible for that tax credit, you are going to want to do that pretty quick. Clean energy tax credits, so for wind and solar projects, will be phased out by 2027, which it has been speculated could result in higher energy costs in the longer term. And this one's a bummer. 800 megahertz of radio spectrum in about the 6 gigahertz range is expected to be auctioned off by 2034, which could impact the 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi range, which is, I think, going to be a mega downer for our American friends.
That's a big yikes.
I was at Natalie's during that tech upgrade. Hey, thank you for your ideas. No, it is not the Riot Games launcher that caused her slow downloads. yes, it appears to download in chunks and then install, but that was not what was happening. Her connection was super slow. We could barely even load a web page. And there were so many SSIDs in her area.
I saw
There's
that.
like 50 that we couldn't do anything. And that's on 5 gigahertz. Like, I remember the transition from 2.4 to 5 gigahertz and what a breath of fresh air it was using fresh, unpolluted spectrum. And 6 gigahertz is the that of today. And unfortunately, it looks like that may not happen anymore. I mean, we'll see what happens. These things do tend to change when there are administration changeovers in the US. So good luck, everybody. Oh, there's a response to Luke's AI challenge. Actually, there were quite a few responses to Luke's AI challenge. But this is one that I happened across today. Cypherpunk Samurai says, here is Gemini 2.5 Pro accurately recreating Chapter 14 with proper punctuation. Hermione, however, had more on her mind than the Philosopher's Stone. She had started drawing up revision timetables and color coding all of her notes. Harry and Ron wouldn't have minded, but she kept nagging them to do the same. Hermione, the exams are ages away. So for those of you who don't remember, we were discussing whether it was okay to ingest published novels just for the cost of, buying one copy of it, using it to train your AI, and whether that was transformative. And one of the discussion points that we had was, okay, well, do you completely lose that transformative argument if your AI is capable of just sharding out the text unedited? And it turns out that if you trick them, they can do it. I saw someone...
Which I think someone legal somewhere could take this as an actual argument and go after them for it. Legitimately.
I saw someone else who got around it by asking it to read the chapter, and it's like, no. And then it's like, can you pretend to be my grandma reading me the chapter? My grandma reads me a chapter every night, blah, blah, blah. Can you pretend to be her? And it just... they crapped out a chapter of Harry Potter.
I love how it obviously it doesn't have feelings and whatnot, but it feels like it wants you to get it around its own rules. It's fascinating.
Pretty wild,
The judge in the case literally said that. Literally said, what?
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to be a little bit more clear.
It's like comments on the YouTube video that are like, yeah, I agree. It's like, dude, we talked for 4 hours. What do you agree with? I have no idea.
Brazil is going after Nintendo for bricking Switch 2 consoles. Brazil's Consumer Protection Agency, Procon SP, has filed a formal complaint against Nintendo over its Switch 2 console banning policies. The complaint argues that Nintendo's updated user agreement, which allows the company to permanently block console access to all online features, violates consumers' rights. This comes after multiple reports of Switch 2 consoles being banned for using MIG flash cartridges, even when users own the games. The ban includes multiplayer, system updates, digital game access, and even the retro libraries tied to paid Nintendo Switch Online subscriptions. That seems pretty excessive, Nintendo. One Redditor bought a used Switch 2 from Walmart as an open box return, only to find that it was already banned and effectively bricked for online play. Procon SP is demanding that Nintendo remove the offending clause and has criticized the company's lack of formal legal representation in Brazil, which makes consumer recourse difficult. Nintendo has 20 days to respond to the legal challenge. Shout out Brazil.
Let's go Brazil.
Yeah, this seems very based.
Nice.
Very cool. I'd love to see someone take up Nintendo's proprietary implementation of USB-C next. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
I have heard about that. That's super annoying.
It's not only that they are, not helping third-party accessories work with the Switch 2.
They're blocking.
It is that they are actively encrypting the communication and actively preventing third-party accessories from working. There is no technical reason why the Switch 2 could not use standard voltages and could not use standard protocols. I promise you, I'm not an engineer, but what I can tell you is if Apple can do it, Nintendo can do it. Yeah, unique username says, and their dock sucks. Apparently there is one third-party dock maker that works, but even they came out and said, okay, yeah, but nothing would prevent Nintendo from changing the encryption key with a firmware update. So we're not like guaranteeing anything, but yeah, it works right now. I don't know how they got it working. Like they must have a mole in Nintendo or something. I have no idea.
Yeah. Cool from Brazil though. The USB-C thing, like, I don't know the rule of the law on the EU's USB-C stuff, but I feel like it violates the intention.
Certainly the spirit of the law. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Spirit of the law, and hopefully the EU can step in on that a little bit, because like everyone using the same connector but not being able to actually use it because you locked things off defeats the whole purpose. And honestly, actually just makes things worse in a lot of ways. So hopefully that's not allowed to continue to be a thing.
Well, and the really goofy part is, like on the Switch 1, it was no problem for you to just plug the Switch 1 into a wall wart and use it, although apparently it could like wear it out faster or something. But then if you took that same wall wart and plugged it into a dock and then tried to use the Switch on that, it like wouldn't work. And it's like,
yeah.
Can we just not?
Yeah.
Like, can we just not that?
Seriously, yeah.
Why? Like, I know you got to sell $40 AC adapters, but are the like $80 games not enough? How much blood do you want
Canadian.
from our stones?
Yeah.
No, US.
No, I was thinking like, no, that's too cheap. It's 100 something.
Yeah, no, I was converting to US.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is interesting. The Supreme Court in the US has upheld a Texas law that would require ID to visit some websites. Last Friday, in a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court upheld a Texas law aimed at blocking minors from accessing online adult content, which on the face of it sounds like a good thing. I don't think most minors need to be seeing that kind of content. However, like many potentially well-intentioned policies and legislation, this one is full of holes. And no, not all of them can be filled because we can't get to the websites to see it. The Free Speech Coalition had challenged the Texas law due to worries about the First Amendment being infringed upon. Justice Clarence Thomas stated he didn't believe that this restricts adults' free speech rights, saying, adults have the right to access speech obscene only to minors, but adults have no First Amendment right to avoid age verification. Okay. Even though this is now overturning decades of precedent and has the potential to upend access to First Amendment protected speech on the internet for everyone, children and adults alike, said Samir Jain, Vice President of Policy at the nonprofit Center for Democracy and Technology. Yeah. This is because back in 1996 and 2004, as well as many other times, there were rulings that federal law at the time said it would be unconstitutional to have restrictive measures on content filtering. Several websites that would be required to have this age verification check are simply not running in Texas, as well as in several other states, because they don't want to be the ones responsible for holding people's private information, like driver's licenses, passports, and whatever other ID would be used to verify the user. See, that's the problem with this law, is that
I don't want that either.
The government is not doing the work to make it manageable. They don't have a nationwide ID program for every man, woman, and child that is properly administered and properly safeguarded and whatever. And I'm not even advocating for that as a solution here. I'm just saying that they are not doing the work and not putting in any kind of infrastructure that would enable these organizations to perform the identity and age verification checks that they are demanding that they perform. They're putting all of the liability on these private enterprises, all of whom are going to have to create from scratch some kind of solution to collect this information, validate it, and store it, which is insane.
I'm assuming what they're hoping, if I can try to find an argument for them right now, I'm assuming what they're hoping is that the free market will make a Stripe-like thing where the liability goes on a third-party company that is very highly security focused.
Sure, I mean, that worked great for the credit monitoring industry. Equifax is awesome. TransUnion too. I love them both. Dude,
what I'm kind of surprised...
TransUnion's site is so f***ing garbage. They had a wrong address in my history. And I went in and tried to change it. And once you try to change it, first of all, it took me like 3 times on the phone with them to stop my account from just randomly locking when I would try to get into it. And then we finally managed to get me into the account. And then it's like a separate portal to go and like register for a change. And then when I finally got an email saying that there was an update to my change request. And then when I tried to log into it, the page would error out every time I would try to go to it. I still don't know what happened with that, but I have never lived in Edmonton. It's been a wild saga.
The thing that surprises
great
me...
system!
The thing that surprises me the most is that there wasn't one of these sites already queued up by one of the people trying to push for this bill. That's the thing that surprises me, is that there isn't a solution that already at least sort of exists.
I don't think they've thought that far ahead.
There's a really interesting point at the end here.
I think you're giving them too much credit. I think this is just classic.
Elijah.
Will somebody please think of the children?
I know, but as Elijah says at the end of this topic, I swear this prawn topic comes up every month. We've talked about the Texas one in particular, I think like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I don't have another solution to accomplish the thing that they want other than just clicking yes on a website. And I don't think there is one.
I don't think so either. But that's the issue, is you're supposedly, anti-government overreach and anti-regulation, except when it's convenient. Or in this case, like inconvenient. Like there is no plan. There's no concept of a plan for how this could possibly be implemented. And look, I'm not saying that the adult entertainment industry is precious and should be protected at all costs. At all. I'm just saying that if your argument is that they need to do this thing and you have literally no idea how you expect them to do it, how do you legislate that? I can't think of another example of something this stupid.
And like because I can imagine legislating something where you don't have the answer for it. I can't imagine that being a thing in a variety of scenarios. But in this scenario, the thing that you're trying to tell them to do is putting serious security risks on everyone involved.
Well, yeah.
So it's like you kind of know the only direction that they can go in, and you know that it's bad, which seems not good.
Yeah, I gotta wonder what lobbyist is pushing this. Like, who is asking for this?
I don't know. Genuinely unsure.
Helen Lovejoy. That's the only possible thing I can think of.
Who's that?
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Oh, that is actually her. Wow, you're so informed.
Am I?
On The Simpsons?
I'm sure, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I haven't kind of watched any of the last probably 10 or 15 seasons, but...
You and Sir Dankpods should sit down and chat about The Simpsons.
There's only 8 seasons. That's when the show ended.
Why?
Very
is he just like
it.
Full of Simpsons references or what?
He used to make like... Oh man, what was it even called?
Simpsons Wave.
Is that what it's called?
Is it the music?
What is Simpsons Wave?
Simpsons Wave, yeah.
Like
didn't
.wav
he like
or like
basically
what are we...
come up with this?
I have no idea who invented Simpsons Wave. Oh, Dankmus?
Dankmus, that was it, wasn't it?
Oh, Dankpods. Isn't
That's
Dankmus
what I
one
said
of
to
his
you
things?
earlier. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said DMS.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No, I know about Dank Pods and Loving the Simpsons or whatever. Okay, what are we looking at here? That's right. Okay. Yep, that's a thing that exists.
Oh, this is peak stuff. Don't knock it till you try it.
No, okay. Yep, that's good.
This is like the good part of humanity. If all this news in the WAN show makes you feel bad about being alive, any stuff like Dankmus,
Okay.
should restore some of it. I am fully unironic.
The art brain that man has is amazing. He's great. It's good stuff.
Crump with me, Linus.
Deeply uncomfortable. Apple has introduced tiered commission and tax for app developers. In response to the EU ruling that Apple must allow app developers to use alternate payment solutions, Apple has made changes to the store services fee paid by app developers in the EU. The fee is now broken into 2 tiers, and if you elect to link to outside payment options, you are locked to tier 1, which gets only a subset of store services. So tier 1, 5% commission on in-app purchases, limited store services, with the TLDR being no automatic updates, no search boosts, no personalized recommendations, no editorial features, no custom product pages, no insights and analytics. At tier 2, you must exclusively use Apple's payment system. 13% commission on in-app purchases, and you get the complete set of store services. In addition, Apple is rolling out a new fee, the Core Technology Commission, which allows Apple to take a 5% bonus on outside purchases made through App Store apps. At the time of writing, the EU Commission is yet to respond, but if you thought Epic CEO Tim Sweeney would say something, you're right. He weighed in on Twitter, saying Apple's new Digital Markets Act malicious compliance scheme is blatantly unlawful in both Europe and the United States and makes a mockery of fair competition in digital markets.
Thanks, Tim.
I feel like I always have to disclaim this. I don't agree with Mr. Tim Sweeney on everything, but boy, do I ever agree with him on basic fucking logic when it comes to monopolistic behavior in online marketplaces. I feel like he has been a voice of fresh air, just kind of saying what should be obvious to everyone, that the emperor has been naked for years. And if what Microsoft was doing in the 90s and early 2000s was antitrust, this is like Uncle Trust. Like, this is, you got to be kidding me. Okay.
Yeah, Uncle Trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like antitrust, but stronger.
Oh.
Like, could probably beat antitrust in an arm wrestle.
Gonna die earlier, though.
Probably.
For sure.
Probably.
Sometimes questionable on holidays.
Heart condition.
Yeah.
Facebook is training Meta AI with your unpublished photos. Last week, TechCrunch reported that some Facebook users are seeing a pop-up when posting to stories asking if the user would like to opt into cloud processing. The pop-up explains that by allowing this option, Facebook will generate new ideas from your camera roll, like collages, recaps, AI restylings, or photo themes. For this feature to work, Facebook will upload media from your camera roll to its cloud on an ongoing basis. According to the terms of service, Meta will have the right to retain and use any personal information that is shared with them. Wow, that's pretty cool. Holy crap. How does it keep getting worse, Luke?
Billions and billions of dollars. I think that's a legitimate answer.
When is it enough? Like, when does Mark Zuckerberg
never.
own enough of Hawaii? Never.
I genuinely don't think that has a cap.
He wants all of Hawaii?
For people that their brain work that way, in my opinion, I think it would be just
Like, is he racist?
the universe.
He doesn't want Oprah to live there too? It's a valid question.
I think it's everyone
Why
else.
does he want Hawaii to have only white people? Specifically himself, actually Asian too.
Yeah,
I'm sure his wife would be allowed to be there.
Yeah.
Why does he feel that way?
Don't know. This is just how he is.
Are all lizards just racist? If I say that, does that make me racist against lizards?
It might.
Want to be warm.
Species.
They just want to be warm. Oh, that's pretty good.
Mystery Ion says you don't have to be racist to not want Oprah near you. I actually have no idea what her controversies are, so I'm a stay out of that one.
I don't care.
Yeah, okay. Let's probably switch over to After Dark. Maybe we got a few merge messages today. All right, cool. Let's do that.
Oh boy. Okay, merge messages.
Do you guys
After
just
dark.
hold on. There's 12,500 people watching live on YouTube. Presumably there's some stragglers who still watch on Twitch for some reason. We got
like 5.
probably
Maybe not for long.
Probably thousands more watching on Floatplane. I have to ask you this, the honest question, okay? Do you guys tune in weekly so that you'll be there the moment my career ends? Is that the idea?
I think a lot of people used to.
That's why I
I'm
arrive every
serious.
week.
I think there was a period of time where that was like absolutely a very significant part of it. Yeah.
So I
don't know if that's as much of a thing anymore, but I know that was a thing. People at the company used to watch.
Well, now we tell them what we tell people online during
But
the
people
WAN
would
Show.
also watch to be like, is there going to be a work to come back to?
Do I have to come to work to Monday? Do I have to come to work Monday? Do I have to come to work Monday?
I came across this on the subreddit recently.
Yeah, I've seen this. This was funny.
I had never actually rewatched the clip.
Really?
I mean, dude, do I really have to like relive?
Dude, I thought it was so... I watched like so many reactions. I thought it was so funny. I had a great time with this.
This guy's face. So
they were very funny.
So I watched. I had to sit through the agonizing. It's so long.
It's
not actually that long. It's like 2 minutes.
But it feels like forever.
But it feels like a lifetime.
Dude,
imagine
imagine how long that felt for me in the moment. I'm ragging through my brain like, am I even right about this? Like, because there's no way he would say that. I'm trying to it's...
Like, we were actually... Like, the fact that you knew... Because I don't always monitor chat. So, like...
that wasn't from chat monitoring.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I don't always monitor chat. So if you hadn't known...
Yeah, we would have been...
Like, we could have made it to the end of that episode... And then once we stopped airing,
back was not an option.
There was no way.
Yeah.
There was no way.
Yeah.
Just like...
Yeah, it was tough. You know, I look back at that like fairly fondly, and I like watching reactions to it and stuff. You know what does suck though?
Yeah.
Is people that'll recognize me in public and be like, "Oh, the hard R thing."
That's
like, that
all.
actually,
why are you saying this so
I don't get
loud
that.
to
That's
me?
all
really?
TikTok
Yeah.
knows us from.
That's what people know me from. All my most viewed stuff is that clip. So like it will genuinely, I'll be in an airport and someone will walk up to me with hundreds of people walking by and be like, "Oh, the hard R thing. Whoa, that was crazy." I'm like, wow, I really don't want this right now. Please stop. Like it happens at conventions, it happens at airports. Like if it's just us, sure. But it's never just us.
I didn't have my face shown.
It's rough, man.
Yeah.
And then like the stuff that comes after it.
Luke Hardar left Renier.
The stuff that comes after it where they're like, oh, like I can't believe you saved that, whatever. That part is always said at a significantly lower volume than the initial bit.
You scream that first bit. Yeah. Oh, God.
Like it actually happens a lot. And it's very disturbing. I don't know when people are just going to yell hard R at me.
It's the guy. It's a hard R guy.
Public.
Yeah. As long as you're not in the States, you're probably okay.
It's not
like in terms of people understanding it.
Yeah.
But like in America, if I was just like hanging around and someone referred to me like that real loud, I probably wouldn't be stoked on it.
No, it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
Like at all. Yeah. Yeah, it is hilarious though. I do like anytime anyone links me somebody reacting to it or talking about it, whatever, I love it. I thought Moist Criticals, his was hilarious.
Highlight of my career.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that one?
I got to Mike Wachowski it. Just tiny little postcard of my head. It's great.
Let me see if I can find it.
Can't be that.
Yeah, Linus Detectives almost ruined his career.
He was like hours.
It was really fast.
He was really fast.
I mean, he just normally is really fast.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this one was so funny. He talks about how he was. You should go watch it if you're interested. But he talks about how he's watching, and he's been apparently watching for a long time, like just the channel, and he was just like sitting there, just like, oh no, like it's all over. I haven't watched it forever, but his recount of this was genuinely hilarious. It was also fun to hear him say that because I first saw his channel when I was in university, so like. UVic University, like, so that's kind of a cool little crossover thing. But yeah, it's very, very funny. Anyways, we're still here.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, dorkier people have tried to cancel us.
He didn't try to cancel us.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Oh man,
BRB gonna fall down the reaction rabbit hole. It's pretty funny. It's it's pretty good.
All right, Dan.
Yeah,
hit me.
Okay. Hello, Dinah's Duke and Lan. I just got into hockey recently, and I know you, Linus, had made a joke about being a fan of the Oilers before. But what are your favorite teams? Let's go Kraken for me.
To me, picking my favorite hockey team is like picking my favorite corporation. Because they literally...
That's what they are.
They literally, like, very literally are corporations. So you're just like, when you buy the merchandise, you are supporting, a lot of the really positive things that sports teams do bring to their communities. They bring people together. They often contribute to their communities charitably, like Canuck Place here in Vancouver does a lot of really great work. You are contributing to the livelihoods of not just the players that play on the team, but also the farm system that filters up to the big league teams. There's a lot of, you're contributing to the businesses that rely on, people leaving the stadium after the game to go get dinner or drinks or whatever it is. There's a lot of really positive things about sports ball. But you are also funneling money into the pockets of multi-gazillionaire owners, and you're doing that at a greater rate than you are probably any of the other things. And so for me, I really enjoy the sport. I am a fan of hockey. I love the tension. I love the incredible talent of just amazing players. I love the speed of the game, the intensity. I can appreciate the talent and the hard work and dedication that goes into being so very good at it. But I have a real hard time being that invested in a team. So for me, a big part of the joy of watching hockey is watching, with someone who's really passionate about someone. So I'm at a point now where I can kind of cheer for whatever team. So I just get behind whoever David Gauthier wants to win.
It was genuinely more fun watching the finals because he was there.
Oh yeah, David's so passionate and he's very well informed, not just about the game itself, but like all the players and their like history and like, whether they're, dirty players or whether they're people that we can feel good about cheering for.
Hearing him like rant
things.
about that one guy was I don't remember his name, but it was cool. I have no interest in watching on my own. I don't generally like TV shows. I love Shoresy. And that's like about a hockey team. So that's cool. I've been considering trying to like recruit a couple people to also do this with me because I'm not interested in just doing it by myself, but the like kind of local hockey team, trying to get season tickets for that some year and like actually trying to go to every game, I think could be kind of fun. By local hockey team, I do not mean the Canucks. Yeah.
I really like, interesting storylines. Like I was rooting for the Oilers because I don't know, they're the Canadian team or something last year. But I was also pretty happy to see Paul Maurice lift the cup. This was the very unfortunate record that he had last year until he won. He had the most wins of an NHL coach without having a cup. You could be like the greatest coach that never actually lifted the
winningest
thing.
without championship coach is not the thing that you want to go down for.
No, it really isn't.
Yeah.
So I felt pretty good for him for finally getting there. And this year I really you saw all the passion from Draisaitl and McDavid. I really wanted to see them lift it. They couldn't get it done. Maybe next year. We'll have to see how the offseason goes. Yeah, love the game. Don't love the corporateness of it. I stopped following super hard. Back in I forget which lockout. There was a lockout, and it was basically like as a fan, I was just kind of tired of like millionaires versus billionaires.
Yes, this crashed out a lot of people that I know from watching.
And I just didn't care who was right anymore at that point.
Yep.
I was just not interested anymore. Was it 2011?
I don't remember exactly, but I know I used to know quite a few people that would watch, and like almost all of them stopped watching after that, to be honest. Just
2012, 2013 was the lockout. It canceled many of the games of the 2012 season, including the All-Star game, and shortened the regular season to just 48 games.
What was that tournament they did this year?
That was incredible. Okay,
that was like peak sports.
New answer: the Four Nations face-off.
Yeah. Whoa, dude! That was. It's amazing
how much harder the players play.
Yeah.
With their country's flag on their chest versus some corporate logo. And it really shows us what we're missing by having hockey as this like corporate behemoth rather than as like an international.
The Four Nations tournament, even if you're not into hockey at all, was a fantastic watch.
It's like the best hockey you can watch.
And every player was going for it every time.
Like it was kind of crazy.
That was fascinating. That was my favorite hockey thing that's happened in like maybe ever.
Yeah, I'd love to see them bring that back. I don't know if they're committed for next year, but I think seeing the success of the format, they like it. I'm just worried there's going to be like too many injuries or something, and they're going to shut it down.
Right.
I think they're not doing it next year because it's an Olympic year, isn't it? I think it's a Winter Olympic year.
That would sense, but if they did it on non-Olympic years, that would be cool.
I'd be super into that. Yeah, Four Nations Face-Off was amazing. Okay,
let's see what else we got next. Hello from Tasmania, Australia.
Wow, hi.
Linus, as you get older, do you expect your viewer demographics to age with you? Do you worry about young newbies in the tech field shunning you in your 40s?
It's something that I've thought about a fair bit, actually. I mean, I think that I've talked extensively about what I call the curve, which is kind of a natural fizzle out of not just like online, internet famous people, but pretty much anyone with cultural relevance. Like you can't keep it forever. And depending on what kind of a space you're in or Whether you're a man or a woman, or what kind of role people can imagine you in. Like you think about,
happens to movie stars.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you get kind of typecast. So if I'm typecast as like, the young geeky tech guy, and then I grow out of it and I'm like an old guy that still talks like this, like that probably won't work for people. Formats change. Something that I have not really had a strong presence in is short form content. There's a whole tech talk that occasionally, clips of me will end up on, or whatever else. We have some of our own content that we upload there, but I wouldn't say that we're a dominant force by any stretch of the imagination when it comes to short form. Everything changes. Nothing ever stays the same. And aging out of this career has absolutely been something that I've thought about a lot. But what we're also seeing is that while I think the audience is aging up with me a fair bit, it's not as bad as I kind of always assumed that it was going to be. We're still like heavily skewed in the 18 to 24, 25 to 34, and 35 to 44 ranges, which from an advertising standpoint
really
is
strong.
Like ideal. Young men with disposable income is pretty much your like optimal demographic target. And while we don't have one of the most sustainable verticals necessarily, like financial advice, for instance, has like crazy CPMs and stuff like that.
Tech is really not that great for verticals.
Yeah. So we don't have that going for us. Like automotive CPMs are apparently much higher. What we do have is a really stable... Oh, go ahead.
They talk about that. There's a Big Time has a video on like, it's been 1 year since we left Donut. What's it like?
Yeah.
And they actually like, it's a very much more open video than I think most people would make. And they show one of their dashboards at one point and show like their kind of CPMs, and they explain how it works, and they explain how like YouTube takes their cut and all this kind of stuff. And it's really cool, actually. It's a good video.
I would say there is a bit of a shift occurring. So we are 41.4%, 25 to 34, 20%, 35 to 44, and 24.5%, 18 to 24. So that is all that remains is like 10% outside of those ranges. But I do think that Google's doing a better job of filtering out like garbage data. So I suspect it's always been a little closer to that. And we are aging up a little bit into 25 to 34. But I'd say, given I'm going to be 39 pretty soon, if we're still managing to speak to 65% an 18 to 34 audience, we're actually still doing a pretty okay job. And given that we still have 30% of our audience 35 and up, we also aren't completely losing the more mature audience either.
I think more of that is probably not related to you. And I think more of that is probably related to our format, because we don't cater heavily to short form. We do cater to short form. Sammy does a great job, but we don't cater. Our primary content is long form, which is aging up.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think there's just that our focus is computer hardware, which I would argue is aging up as well. I don't necessarily think it's super related to you personally.
And there's like socioeconomic factors that are contributing to this. Like, it is harder for a 17-year-old to buy a brand new gaming computer today than it was when I was a kid.
Yep.
And not just in terms of like raw dollars, like in terms of purchasing power and typical disposable income, it's much more difficult. So I can totally understand why a lot more younger people would gravitate towards console gaming, for instance.
Okay, up next. Finished all medical training, now leaving the incredible friends I went through hell with over the past 5 years, and it sucks. What's the hardest goodbye you've had to say, and how did you handle it?
Ooh. Hardest goodbye. We're not talking deaths, right?
Oh, I think...
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
No, they left school.
I think that's probably a
And
little
they're
bit
all
too,
going their own ways.
It's a little too far.
Man, I don't know about hardest goodbyes. I've had a few moderately difficult goodbyes. Like when I did my 6-year exchange to Quebec, not only was I saying goodbye to all of the people who effectively like taught me French and I spent every day with while I was there as like a summer camp counselor, but I think like the terms of the exchange, like there was no personal information to be exchanged or something. Like I was literally saying goodbye forever. So that was like kind of weird.
It's an old school problem.
Like I hadn't really like encountered that before. I don't think I had a super strong attachment to anyone in high school. Anyone that I like didn't,
maintain an attachment with.
Yeah, like it wasn't really like goodbye. It was more just like fade away.
That's one of the issues I'm having is a lot of the situations that I have left.
Like, what about your teams? Like, you went to provincials for like football and hockey and stuff. Like, was there ever like a goodbye moment with your teams that you were like, I'm never going to see you guys again? It
was less, in my opinion, like those teams, because the team you'd go play with for provincials is not the team that you would naturally, I think, is not the team that you would play with throughout the season. Because they would take a like all-star team from all the different
I didn't know
teams
that.
in BC. For ball hockey, that's how it worked.
Interesting.
And then you'd go travel and play wherever. So like that group, I was never usually like that tight-knit with that group.
Right.
It was more the team throughout the season. And the team throughout the season, even, a lot of times you'd see the same players kind of year after year. And
so it's like a slow roll.
Yeah. What did really, really, really suck was the very last year. Because you turn whatever...
And then you're not eligible.
18 or whatever it is. And you can't play on those sports teams anymore. And the jump to adult teams, a lot of them don't exist.
Yeah.
Or the vibe is like completely different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like football.
Oh, yeah. Adults are not going to want to like get injured.
No.
Like, no.
Turns out people do play rugby. I didn't know about that until like way later. But yeah, football, not so much of a thing. There's like one team, if I remember correctly, but they were super serious and they really kind of wanted to be, this is extremely old information and could be wrong even from back then. But they wanted to be kind of like the house team for the Lions. Like they were like trying to make it. They weren't just playing for fun.
Right.
Seriously playing for fun. Like obviously I'm going to give it, but like I'm also not trying to be a professional football player. So like there's a difference between trying as hard as you can and trying to be a professional football player. There is a difference.
Yeah.
So like certain sports, they just didn't have teams. Other sports, the vibe was completely different. Like I would still like to practice.
Right.
Most adult teams don't practice.
So you want the like football equivalent of like a badminton club, like we're running, where you can go and you can do training.
Yeah, I think so.
And you can like play and compete in like ladder games or whatever. But like,
even if it was just the practice, I would love that.
Yeah,
Football practice was sick. Pushing bags around and stuff was really fun. And there's even like, I've been looking into getting into ice hockey. We couldn't do ice hockey when I was a kid. Equipment's too expensive. Thanks. I do pretty well now. So I could
thank yourself.
I could get some hockey equipment if I wanted some hockey equipment. But like I can't skate at all.
Yeah.
Like literally at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
like
sad.
It's a problem.
Like I can't skate and like you're trash.
Yeah. So like I can't just go join a team.
I mean, David offered to kind of hold our hands next year.
I want to do that.
I'm kind of down.
I'm totally down.
Okay. Should we do it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're doing it next season. So David's got to recover. I don't think you guys have seen any content yet, but his wing is pretty busted right now.
Yeah.
Which is not a good sign. But he's also...
he's a unit.
He's playing
he
a league...
He can probably take some damage.
He's playing a league above what he... So apparently he can kind of... He's allowed to play in a lower league if he's kind of like chaperoning us and we suck kind of thing. And he doesn't like
kind of balances
score
it
too
slightly.
many goals and stuff.
Yeah.
So he offered
because we would have to come in at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like I was good at ball hockey, and 20 years ago,
I'm a great rollerblader.
oh, dude, I was really good at rollerblading
Terrible ice skater.
when I was 12.
Yeah.
I have not done that ever since. You know the crosswalk bars?
No.
You don't talk. Can I find an image of this?
Okay, in the meantime, I wanted to address something real quick. Unique username asks, how do you mean you couldn't get back in touch? Like literally forbidden from exchanging contact deals? I was a minor, so I think it was like a thing. And then there was one other thing that I was going to answer, and I forget what it was. Oh yeah, the hardest goodbyes. Probably the hardest ones for me were employment terminations here. So like some of the OGs. And when I say termination, I don't mean fired. I'm not saying if they quit or were fired, that's none of your business. But just like people that, because there's some that like, you know, I'm still in touch with and like, you know, it's chill. Like Terren and I, not my boss Terren, the other Terren, we text once in a while. Like Brandon came to movie night the other week. Like there's people that I'm still in touch with, and we do our best to kind of part on good terms, but breakups are always complicated and emotional, and sometimes, you know, they're not going to be on good terms. So those goodbyes can be really hard because these are, again, people that you worked with for a long time, a lot, and sometimes very intensely. There's a lot of bonding that takes place. It's really good.
I can't find an image, so I have come up with a terrible way.
You really, truly have. If the goal was terrible, you did it.
And do you step in them like a cross?
There's like one here, and there's like one here.
Mm-hmm. And it's a crosswalk?
It's not a crosswalk. I said the wrong term. It's like a in suburbia. It's like a trail between houses or whatever.
Oh,
like a pathway.
That's a pretty good picture of those.
like the vehicle blocker thing.
That's a really
walking
good
paths.
Good
yeah,
job.
yeah,
Luke.
walking path, not crosswalk. I just said the wrong
We're
word.
gonna put it on the fridge. Gold star.
Thanks, Dan.
That's a pretty
Okay, so those bars, you know how there's like the middle bar and then the high bar, and then they. So when I used to rollerblade all the time, I would deliver newspapers.
Yeah.
Speed was of the essence. And when I was rollerblading but not delivering newspapers, or if I like had a few to deliver through one of those walkways, so I'd like leave my big thing of newspapers and just go with a little bit and try to go really fast. I wouldn't want to weave around those because they would slow me down. Mm-hmm. So I came up with a way that I could, if I jumped, I could get the middle of my four wheels, I could lodge it on the bar, and then lift myself up a little bit and get the middle of my other foot's four wheels on the top bar and toss myself over and just like vault them.
Bloody hell. You shouldn't do that.
So I did that every week for years, and it was awesome.
Don't try it again.
My brother and I were both like, oh no, dude, I might die. My brother and I were both very good. Yeah, it was awesome. And then I haven't done that genuinely since I was like a very early teenager.
Good.
So if I tried, I have a feeling if I tried to stop now, I would biff super hard.
I literally can't find a picture of that either.
Yeah, why
is that just
so
a local
hard to
thing?
search
like,
for?
is that not a thing?
I don't know.
Okay, well, anyway.
I'm sure there's a proper term for it.
All right, Dan.
Dan, you were not there at the time. Please don't answer this for Luke and Linus.
Okay.
If the company was now still as small as it was 5 or 6 years ago, do you think people would have better opinions of you?
That's a good question. 5 or 6 years ago, we were a lot smaller. I think it'd go a little bit of both ways. I think there's a certain amount of inherent... I think there's... and it depends on the person. Like, some people will respect someone more the bigger their business is or, like, whatever, regardless of how good of a person they are. Like, you look at the way we hold someone
Bigger
like
number, better
Steve
person.
Jobs in super high regard. Like, the guy's personal life was a dumpster fire. Like, he was such an asshole. Like, you know? And nobody even disputes it. Like, it's not like it's not like people are like, no, he didn't completely, like, mistreat his partner and child. It's like, yeah, but Apple.
He did amazing things.
Yeah, like it's this sort of bizarre issue that I've talked about in the past, but I think we're doing a really poor job of choosing our male role models. Is kind of what I think it boils down to.
I think we sort of always have.
Fair enough. I mean, we call him Alexander the Great, and he literally, I don't know if he came up with decimating.
Good.
But he certainly did a fair bit of it.
Yeah.
Anywho, but on the flip side, I think there's people that inherently feel worse about someone the more wealth they accumulate, which I can also see the perspective of.
Especially now as we're hitting like quite a peak of wealth disparity.
Yes, and we're ramping up into an unaffordability crisis that is impacting almost literally everyone, like on Earth. With that said,
But my son lives there.
have you
Sorry, tenant.
have you been following what's been going on with property? I sent you an article today.
I have not.
Oh yeah, you should.
Well, I mean, a little bit, but not enough.
You should read it. Let me put it this way.
I've been a little busy the last few weeks.
Let me put it this way. The crash that I've been rooting for some time, that I think will help significantly alleviate some of the pressure that people in the Vancouver area have been feeling. We appear to be on the precipice. Like we're already over here, and it seems like the trajectory is this way.
It makes
so
sense 'cause
excited.
people keep saying this argument to me, and I don't have anything substantial to counter it with. But they're like, oh yeah, everybody's just waiting, and then like when the market drops like a couple percent, which is an enormous amount in the housing market, they're just all going to rush and buy. And my constant gut feeling is like, who, dude?
Corporations.
Who are these people?
They're gonna buy up all the cheap housing
because there's a demographic shift happening at the same time. Like, dude, there's so many businesses for sale on Facebook. Look,
buy one with a jet, 2 for 1.
Your Facebook Marketplace is I really, it'll never happen, but it'll be so wonderful. Like if I could just copy your algorithm and put it in mine, because I
want that as its own website.
I would. Linus's Facebook Marketplace is a website I would go to. I know I didn't speak directly to the mic, you can't hear that, but like, you're seeing businesses.
not haunted monkey, $2 million jet, just an entire business. Do you want to buy a Kroger's for $26,000?
Cheese and nacho heater. Like it's actually amazing.
Cursed Gatorade.
so there's a lot of businesses, okay, for sale on Facebook because boomers are retiring, and there's like literally no one to buy them, so they're cheap.
Right.
So people are able to buy these things for like 1x EBITDA, and like if they have some startup capital, which is a real challenge because they haven't had an opportunity in their life
make any money, so they like have to inherit it.
Yeah, to build up a nest egg or creditworthiness. But
you could just borrow against your house. Oh no, wait. Wait, no, that's like real though. Yeah, that's how a lot of it gets started, right?
So it's going to take some time, but I think we are, and the problem is that heading into this is going to be really painful in other ways. Like it's going to be a boon to people who have managed to save and we're just waiting for things to get ever so slightly more affordable. But it could also be deeply problematic for people who are a little bit lower on the social ladder rungs and have not managed to accumulate the down payment that they need, and whose employment could be impacted by the economic hardship that's going to take place. And everything's, why is every WAN show bad news WAN show?
It's almost like it's a reflection of the world. Oh no, wait, that's worse.
Irish Luck asks, what is EBITDA? EBITDA. Hold on.
It's a really fun word that doesn't seem to mean anything.
It stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It basically it tells you how much money a company makes, excluding any effects of financing, taxes, and non-cash accounting practices. So it's like theoretically a no bullshit. Like, how profitable is this business?
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Big theoretically.
But there's always creative accounting.
Yep.
Hit me, Dan.
Hi, Linux Seabass. Do you feel burnt out due to the increased workload as Chief Vision Officer? Compared to the time that you were thinking of retiring, do you feel more tired this time?
Well, I never get younger, which it turns out is a challenge because we hit our biological peak at like, what is it, like 23 to 27 or something like that? So everything's downhill. Every day, my reflexes are slower. Oh, hi there. You know, like every day I'm dumber. Every day my peak physical condition erodes a little bit. So I never feel more energized than before. However, I wouldn't say that my workload as CVO is increased. It's different. I was trying to cut back to 4 days a week for a long time. I never actually really got that day off. Actually, I shouldn't say never. I think it happened somewhere between 3 and 5 times. And then theoretically, I was going to go to filming like 3 days a week starting at the beginning of this June. But in practice, I've actually just started telling people I'm officially back to full time now because, I mean, the truth is we've been having some very challenging growth pains recently. And I don't mean this as a knock against anyone in particular. What I mean is that it's just very difficult scaling a company from, what's the German word again? Mittelstand?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The good one.
Mittelstand. Very difficult scaling a company from mittelstand to even just being a sustainable mittelstand, actually. Even if we weren't trying to 10x, which I don't even think we are trying to do.
I'd kind of rather not.
Yeah, people don't want to stick around for stagnation, right? And staying mittelstand forever might appeal to you or me or someone, but it might not appeal to, you know, maybe Dan doesn't like that. Maybe that doesn't work for, you know, his career growth progression.
I'd still ride the bus, but just like I applied some amount of resistance to us becoming the size we are now, I would apply a similar amount of resistance to us 10xing.
500 would be difficult enough.
Yeah.
1,000.
I would hope, when I was talking 10x, I was talking revenue. I would hope we could 10x revenue without 10x.
Oh, I thought you were talking headcount because we were talking about the difficulties.
Oh God, no, I don't.
Oh yeah, 10x
Jesus.
probably be 200, I would say. 200, 220. You could probably do that level of revenue.
Depends.
10x revenue, dude.
Yeah,
Let's go.
profit probably not.
Let's go.
No, not profit.
Yeah, 10x revenue we might be able to do, like if we really scaled our activities in LTTStore and did like way more marketing. So we just like go for maximum top line revenue, knowing that the profitability is going to drop like a rock. Then yeah, something like that could work. Girasol says, imagine building an Airtable for 1,000 people. Yeah.
I read that and it gave me short-term trauma. And I'm not even doing it.
It's going to be identical. There's like no change. The complexity is in how many types of jobs.
That's a big problem here.
As much as
And it's 100 jobs. It's not 100 people. 200 people would still be about the same quantity of
unless
jobs.
we keep doing more and more things, which is what this company does. So
yeah, well, we already did the hard part.
VPN, Linus Coin. We'll have a system integrator.
Now
we're gonna have.
Now it's just scope creep, and so we've already done the hard part, so we're fine.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say no. Now it's 1,000 jobs.
I might need another couple months of vacation.
By the way, this is the best example I can do.
Is
Is
that all the Zoom you got?
Basically.
There we go.
They
Yeah,
won't-
just like that. There
It
you
won't
go.
keep it.
Perfect.
But
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. There you go. I tried. I tried every search term I could think of, and couldn't find an actual example of it in a walkway like that. I could find just the bars. I found that.
And I've seen them everywhere. They are.
Oh, does somebody have a
everywhere.
link? Yeah,
No,
That's
close.
close.
It's not perfect.
That's close.
Yeah.
No, the one Luke showed is the one that we have all over the place here.
Yeah.
The cyclist ender, says Curious Bread. Yeah.
There's some rough videos. There are actually. Have you seen them?
No.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not supposed to be riding your bike there.
It's just to slow down.
It means slow down a lot. It means walk your bike.
The rough videos are usually from where it didn't have them, and then they put them in.
Because everybody rides looking at the ground.
Well, a lot of it's like coming down a hill or something.
Oof, that's bad.
Should put a ramp.
And if it's like really gloomy out and raining, and they're also gray, and like the ones that I showed had like little stripes at the top. Most of them don't.
I have never seen them with any kind of indication that there is something that's going to hurt you.
That was unique about this one. Usually they're just gray metal. So like in certain conditions, they're not the easiest thing to see. And if you're traveling really fast, you can whack them pretty hard. I never have, but I know from video experience. Look up staggered barriers. I did.
Okay. Last one.
Last one I got for you. Hey, Linus, Luke, and Dan. Wow, somebody actually used normal words for a change. Still awake here in London, enjoying the show. I am brainstorming an app idea that I want to build, and I was wondering back at the beginning of Floatplane, how did you plan it out? That was my reaction when I read this too.
Yes, plan.
So Jake and I had a semblance of a plan, and then we talked about it somewhere.
Concept of a plan, they say.
Yeah, we had the idea of having a plan, and we talked about it somewhere. I don't remember where that was. It was in a video or WAN show or something.
Nice.
And then there was a thread made on the forum of people talking about it, and AJ, who still works here, thank goodness, responded being like, neat plan, but you could do it this way. And it was like this really long write-up of like how we should actually do it. And then we brought him on and did that.
Nice.
And then we're like, wow, that was one of the worst times in history to make a video platform. So a lot of it has changed since then. But AJ's plan for that time was good.
Nice.
It's just with hindsight, it's just like, wow, those weren't bad ideas. But
nice.
Rough.
We'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye! Oh, lemon
No, put the price up.